before the first gen even pops. Trying to bait out a hit there, but not able to get it. Ricky JT able to get away. That was a missed decisive strike. And that is an insta-down.
Welcome back to Vigo's Court, everybody. I'm your Judge Little Rugard, and with me today is Counselor Poggy, and we've got a very exciting game for everybody. Poggy, what's on the docket, my good sir?
Oh, well, since you asked, I just happen to have a docket prepared for you today. Well, isn't that amazing? Because guess what? Sam's back. Sam actually lived through this horrible snowstorm. He lived! He didn't die!
Oh my goodness, he's alive.
And he came through and made us a docket.
Excellent. I have my precious docket back in my hands. Yes, this is what I wanted to see. All right, everybody, we are in Week 5 matchups with Object of Depression battling it out versus PGS, and we are going to be playing on the Coal Tower, everybody's favorite map with 132 square tiles, 8,448 meters squared, 6 hooks minimum, 11 hooks maximum, with the 1 permagen on the second story of the Coal Tower. Super safe gen, yet it's always like one of the first to go, I feel like, in pubs. They always get that one done. I'm just like, sweet, perfect. Makes my job a lot easier. Though, to be fair, there is an argument to be made that it's a one-way up. You know, kind of like the Thompson house, you know? It's one way up, so you can kind of protect it a little bit to a degree. But, all right, what are these stats we got here? Look at that gen completion. That is almost like neck and neck on gen completion. And their average score, too. PGS actually has a slightly higher average score. Interesting.
Hey, thank you for joining the jury. Beans on Legion. Appreciate it. I know you didn't hear it, Rue. I'll turn on notifications for you right now so you don't miss them going forward. But
I think you mispronounced that. I think that is Beans on Legion. But sorry.
But yeah, these teams are very close in terms of stats. I mean, really close. And they were both in last season,
yeah, that's
too.
like neck and neck.
They were both in season 0 and did fantastic. I was on PGS earlier in last season. Before I was a Hag main and got one game in before I was like, I'm too busy, I can't. But I still love them. They're still my favorite team by far. Although OD is certainly pretty close. And I think the teams are readying up literally right now. So why don't we take a look?
Yeah, I think the only difference is I think PGS has a slightly higher escape rate, like about 20%. But yeah, this should be a really close matchup then. I'm excited. So we got Shiny on Killer.
Yes.
Excellent. Always love to see Shiny on Killer.
Ninetales. I don't know how to say that one still. I think it's just Ninetales 9. But I mean, there's like a weird 9 in the middle of the word 9. So like,
it's just
it looks like
fine.
Like Naguni Tails and then Gothergy and then Goth's Princess. Because the 9 looks like a G, right? Like if I'm doing Leet speak, it would be a G for 9. But 9 would be a G, right? I mean, that's fair. I don't speak Leet. It was just a thought. I don't know. I could be way off. But yeah, they are readying up. And Shiny61 going to be killing first for OOD, and PGS going to be surviving first. Then they'll switch sides for 2 games. Shiny61's team, OOD, will survive for 2 games. Well, I mean, it's not his team, but you know what I mean. The team on which the killer currently is. My coffee is starting to kick in, so that's what's happening if you guys are wondering in chat. Like the stimulants are coming through, and that's exactly what I need right now. So,
oh my goodness.
I'm excited.
One thing worth pointing out that we've talked about before is that, you know, the ranks in the lobby, but since currently pipping is like nearly impossible, I'm not even surprised to see people that's sticking around at rank 5. because it's just atrocious trying to level up or level down right now. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God, you don't have to tell me, my friend. You really don't have to tell me. I can't tell you how many like really strong good games I'll get where I'm like, that's a 2-pip, right? And then I get Ruthless and then I still don't get a pip and I'm like, but why do you hate me, game? Why are you like this? And then it's like, well, that's just how it is sometimes, you know? But hey, you know what? Rank doesn't matter, and it certainly doesn't matter right now. But yeah, that's kind of where my head was at on that one. And let's see, we got some people in chat. Hype.
Rank never mattered.
It's the show off giving some hype. Thank you, it's the show off. Appreciate that. We got Trinity. Let's get this party started. Indeed. Murder Nito saying PGS. I agree. PGS all the way. PGS got this. There's a lot of love for PGS. We're going to start a prediction now. I forgot to do that earlier on. And since Shiny 61's not quite readied up yet, we're going to ask the question in the chat, will PGS beat OOD in trial number 1? That is the question we're going to ask you guys. I think that's a more objective way than who will win trial number 1, because then you have the option of if it's a draw, the answer could be no. So yes or no, you have 5 minutes to put in your predictions starting 45 seconds ago. Because of the delay, you know.
Darn stream delay.
I know.
Oh, man.
But they get it.
So I'm not going to say, like, I do enjoy PGS. I know a lot of them and I like them. But I'm also a fan of Objective Depression, because we've had some good scrims. They're a good team. I like them. So yeah, this is gonna be a good match. I'm expecting a lot out of these two teams, and we've seen Shiny. So, oh, and there we go.
Indeed, we have. All right, we'll be right back after this here rules video, and we'll be joining you for trial number 1. Hang tight, folks. Keep your seats. This is Vigo's Court. I don't know how to do segues. Hello everyone, we're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Boggy. I'm here bringing you Week 5 matchups. Objective Depression versus PGS. I just want to give a big thank you to everybody in the back end who's been so supportive of us and so helping us get these streams going, and Sam in particular for being back and actually getting these battle cards to us, because my battle cards were shit, let's be real. Anyway, we are going into the game. Rugard making like a shame face after what I just said. We're going to be going, and we got Gothergy, Shiny 61 on Killer playing Spirit. Wow, he's coming out strong. He's like, I know all about PGS. We are not going to be going light on these guys. And Ninetales crawling around the map, trying not to get spotted, I presume. He kind of blends in with the box, if I'm being real. Goth Princess, pretty good Fang with her med kit, working her way possibly to a generator, but trying to be careful not to get spotted as well. And back to Gothergy, who is also just walking around. So they have left basically no track marks since they opened the game, and the killer has no idea where they are, I think. Seems a little lost. You look a little lost there, Shiny.
Ooh, that prayer beads. That's interesting.
Yeah, we see prayer beads down there in the bottom left corner. I am a little curious if he's going to actually find someone. There's some scratch marks. Finally gets his view on some survivors. He looks behind him to see if anybody's behind that rock, just in case, because sometimes they pair together. And we do see him going for Goth Princess now, who is working her way at the TNL wall. Going to probably get that vault, but those hitboxes do get a little bit eager, and she does end up taking a hit. Now, I do think that was a fair hit, though. And we do see Haunted Ground popping as well. Haunted Ground is going to be pretty devastating if this killer decides to abandon this chase with Goth's Princess and instead find some fully healthy survivors. We could see some very early downs. And he does find one, getting pretty good Fang down right away outside of the phase. A very nice play from Shiny 61. And a fantastic opening to this game for OOD. Now, I don't even think we've seen generators really getting started. That's the first one I've seen. Totems getting cleansed, though, once again. The pretty good squad wants to keep telling me, hey, look, we don't just do totems. What are you talking about? And what's the first thing that goes? Was it a generator? Was it a down? No, it was a totem. And she actually gets the down on Goth's Princess, who was working on that totem right there. Gosh. No. Goth Princess. And that's going to be a second hook, a double hook currently. And we have to get survivors from across the map to come and get the unhook. This killer is going to have a hell of a time because she can now pressure this hook as well. And I think that's exactly what's happening. Ooh, no, she's not. Oh, there she is. There she is. Just a little slow. I think it was a little further along than it looked. And she does get the unhook. Pretty good Fang getting down, using a balanced landing to get some of that extra distance to get away from the killer. And I think Ninetales working his way into the killer shack. Possibly trying to get to the other hook, but the thing about that is now the killer's onto you, so I'd be careful about getting too close to the hook with this chase, because you could end up prolonging Goth's Princess on the hook and working her way to stage 2, quite possibly. So you definitely want to be careful with that. And, of course, we do see Ninetales, again, balancing at the edge. There is no balanced landing in play for that one, though. Goth's Princess getting now off the hook, and I think that might have been Gothergy who pulled off the unhook. And, of course, let's see, Ninetales once again leaving chase with the killer. So I think wasting too much of the killer's time is something that we didn't want to see him do, so he left early.
Ooh. Yep. Ooh. Poggy, you might be muted. You might be muted.
I'm muted?
Stream can't hear you.
Why am I muted? Why am I muted? I'm sorry. I don't know how that happened. I must have pushed a button. Oh, I know what it was. I was sneezing into my hand a minute ago, and I didn't want anyone to hear it. Okay. You didn't miss anything important, trust me. I'm just here for show. So, now everybody's fully healed. Complete reset, which is exactly what they need right now. However, once again, still stuck at 4 generators. Candy Cane Poggy must be having some technical problems again. Yeah, you could say that. This was more of just a stupid me pushing buttons problem, but, you know. Anyway, another generator on the way, like 70, 80%, I think that one was, and not going to get done, unfortunately. And I think now in the... Please switch screens. And now in the chase with Gothergy. Gothergy going to bait a whiff on the killer. A nice play by Gothergy, who is now working his way around back to the other one. What? What? She got the grab on Pretty Good Fang? Off of the generator. Very nice, but they got the generator done anyway. 3 generators remaining. 2 generators off the board. Finishing it in his face, but getting the hook for it. Worth it. I think that was worth it. Currently now 5 hooks to 2 gens.
Good
and
Dead
I think Ninetales may end up going down here unless he has perhaps Dead Hard, but I'm pretty sure he might get that pallet. Oh, that's lucky. He got very close. That pallet is going to save him. He's going to get to use this loop very nicely. And Ninetales dropping yet another pallet. Did he? Oh, yeah, I guess he did.
Yeah, he dead-hearted away from the spirit phasing.
Gotcha. Thank you. Sorry for missing that one, guys. Jeez, gets the down at the window. That was really well played. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get to the pallet to vault it. Tried to bait the hit, and it kind of worked, but then ends up taking the hit anyway and going down. That's unfortunate for Ninetales, but very fortunate for Shiny61, who's now at 6 hooks. 3 people dead on hook, and another generator completing in the process. So even with all this pressure, the survivor's still getting work done and still trying to pressure. Can you please switch screens, game? I don't know why it always does this. All right. Gothergy going back towards the Killer Shack, injured. This is definitely risky, but he does have the pallet here. And working around the long wall around the back. Oh, wow. I was wondering if we were going to see a phase play, and we did, in fact, see exactly that. Gothergy going down before he even gets to the window. Oh, that hurts to see. Spirit, strength, really devastating. Pretty good squad right now. They are trying to mitigate the damage, but ultimately, it's just too much. And that is a first hook for Gothergy. 3 players. I thought Ninetales was on second hook. Am I incorrect about that? Did I miss something?
Yes, they are.
Oh, okay.
I double-clicked. I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. It happens. So, yeah, 3 players are now on death hook. And another generator going. I mean, God, even with this pressure, these survivors still getting work done. It's amazing to see it. But at the same time, they definitely want to think about a hard reset where they get everybody healed back up. And maybe even doing that before even attempting to go for that basement unhook. I don't even know if I'd want to go for the basement unhook. If I were Gothergy, I'd be telling his team, look, leave me down here, get the generator done, reset, and get the hell out. Leave me to die, because it is not worth the pressure you would give to the killer for one of you to die as well, trying to get me down off the hook. And, ooh, was that a... Please go back. Oh, wow, she didn't get hit. It's amazing. She got right up into the killer's face with the phase, and she didn't even take a hit. Very nicely done. Gothergy now in second stage with a progression. And the killer phase walking across to one of the generators, possibly a completed generator. Or a near completed generator. But not even barely touched, no. So this is one thing that's really interesting. The killer does not have a really strong 3-gen right now. Her generators are pretty far apart. They did a good job of splitting up these generators. And we see a Styptic agent play from Pretty Good Fang. Shiny61 not falling for it. Instead, she's trying to bait the hit, but probably should have gone for the pallet to get some extra distance. Instead, gonna wait out that 8 seconds, and she's gonna go down inside the trees. Really nice play by Shiny61 to wait that out carefully. Pretty Good Fang, better play. Probably would have been to vault that pallet to get away with your Styptic agent instead of trying to bait the hit. But ultimately, as a result of this down, they are able to get Gothergy out the hook, but at the cost of Pretty Good Fang dying, which may actually cost them the game. However, this generator is pretty far along. Is it going to be enough, though? No, she comes to pressure the generator. Not going to kick it. Instead, going to wait to see if she can get one down or something. Going for Ninetales, gets the hit. Very well played, and Ninetales going to work his way to the pallet and leave, because she doesn't want to lose that gen, so she is going to pressure it. I think she actually kicked it, yeah.
Oh, is the hatch up there too?
Was it? I didn't even see hatch.
I think it is. Yeah, hatch is up there, I think.
I think I need more coffee. So...
Send me some first.
Gothergy now in a chase with the killer may actually be dead if he's not careful. And the killer going back to pressure again on the generator, and they're not taking any chances. They leave that generator early, respecting the phase. Very nicely done. And yeah, there is a hatch right there. Very much so.
So if I was in their shoes, I'd be having someone working single on that very far gen, and then try and play cat and mouse on the one that's open.
Absolutely. I think you've got a really good point. It seems like that's what they're doing. Yeah, they're trying to... Actually, they're splitting up on all 3 generators. I think that was all 3.
That's a good idea.
Not bad at all. I mean, it's still risky because there's 2 people injured. They haven't reset. And ultimately, this killer just needs 1 down to secure yet another kill. And everybody is dead on hook. So, I mean, there is very little they could do. but getting on the wrong side of the pallet, tries to swing and get the down, but Gothorgy was on the other side and is able to run the hell away from that one. Goth's Princess, though, fully healthy. She's going to get some extra distance through a sprint burst, get a little bit of an early start to the chase. Does end up taking the hit. The generator gets completed, though, as we live and breathe. Very nicely done, and the survivors might actually be able to make their escape. We could be seeing a 2, possibly 3-man escape, but depends on what Shiny61 could do here in this moment. He does do a whiff, though, thinking that he had Goth's Princess in his grasp, but ultimately she was just slightly out of reach. And is she going to be able to survive this loop? Let's see how she does. And Shiny trying to fake the break. Unsuccessful, though, as it didn't work. She did not leave or fake to leave. And Gothorgy coming in for a body block play. Very nicely done, Gothorgy. That's a great strategy right there. And that's what you really want to see. And he is going to end up taking a hit, and everybody gets out. A 3-man escape from Pretty Good Squad, even at the end game with 2 people injured, I think it was. Possibly 1. I think one of them might have healed up at the last second. But yeah, that was insane pressure.
I was not expecting
I didn't expect that either. No, that was insane. I expected one of them to die. Like, straight up, I expected it to be a 2-man escape with one of them on hook. But at the same time, even with only 1 kill with 3 out, this killer still got a F ton of hooks. Like a butt ton of hooks.
They did, for sure.
Pretty nutty. Really quick, guys, we're going to finish up doing the tallying of the score. Rue, I lost your camera, so I don't know what's going on with that. But if you could look into that, just let me know when the score is completed. Okay, that's fine. No big deal. And then we're going to go ahead and go into the post-game review. We'll be right back after this. Rue, let me know when you're done with that. And really quick, Hex Ruin, Haunted Ground, Surveillance, Strider with 2 add-ons from the killer. Prayer Beads, and
I knew they had Strider.
And and Dirty Uwabaki. And yeah, that was pretty dirty from Shiny. Very well done. Very well played all around, actually. I think I can't really point to maybe but one severe mistake, which I think was from Pretty Good Fang not vaulting that pallet instead of just trying to bait a hit on the Styptic agent. But other than that, nothing really that egregious and from either side as a mistake. It was just a really close game. Rue, how are we doing on scores?
We've been there. We're good.
We've been there. Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate you letting me know, my friend. All right, let's do it. You've been watching Week 5 matchups here at Vigo's Court with Object of Depression versus Pretty Good Squad. Some pretty amazing teams tonight. And here's what you witnessed. This was trial number 1. God, I hope this works. 5 generators done tonight with that first trial, and we'll see what's up next here with 3-man escape. Seems to be working fine. I wasn't completely sure. Sometimes it's broken. 8 hooks with a total of 8 hooks. That is insane. And 1 kill. So if I had to guess, it's going to be pretty close. Yeah, 19-23, only a 4-point lead in trial number 1 for Pretty Good Squad. Not far off at all. With Pretty Good Squad leading going into trial number 2, there's still 3 trials to go. They're now going to switch sides, and we're going to see Pretty Good Squad now killing against Object of Depression. Now, as we go into, apparently my highlights weren't working, so we just have the recorded game for this one. But this happens sometimes. I don't know why. The highlights just don't love me. But we have the recording for you, and we're going to be playing that. But I wanted to ask you, Rue, what do you think of Pretty Good Squad's killer? Because I remember the last time we saw them kill, they kind of struggled on killer side, even though their survivor side did really well. So I'm wondering, like, where you're thinking on that.
Are you talking about Gothorgy? Or are you talking about
Pretty Good Squad in general? I don't remember who specifically was killing for them. I think it might have been Gothorgy and someone else, but regardless of that, I'm pretty sure that we saw them struggle from that side.
Yeah, I can't really say. I forget who killed last time, but we know that Gothorgy's, pretty consistent as killer. We haven't seen too much from Ducky yet, so I don't know if I can make a judgment either way on that one, but we'll just have to see. Again, Object of Depression started out with Spirit, so I can only imagine they're going to respond in kind with something, because starting out with an S tier killer is a statement.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm curious what they'll bring. I imagine we'll see a Freddy on the playback, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough about what they've been doing on the back end because I've been trying to take my own practices in personally.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Anyway.
And just give us your feedback on what you thought of the game, maybe your post-game analysis, because I would actually be curious what you thought of the game overall. I was following it pretty well, and yeah, go ahead.
The one key mistake I would point out for Shiny here is at the end when that last gen got completed. I think they got a bit frazzled because in that last chase with Nia, so Goth's princess was Deathhook. Everybody was Deathhook. She was injured. They were in that right there, like on the loop there on the left side. They were in that near the jungle gym, but mostly with the what was it? Long wall with, you know, whatever those tank treads are or whatever, and the pallet. And they were chasing around that. And, you know, they faked the pallet break twice and then used their ability. I think that was a mistake. I think they should have maneuvered, because the pallet on the other side was down already. We saw that Pretty Good Fang, that was the one that Pretty Good Fang didn't vault, that you think was that you thought was a mistake, like right over here to the right there. That area, all they had to do was maneuver and chase the Nia onto the other side of that pallet facing the jungle gym away from the door and then break it. They were waiting for what they were doing is they were waiting for their power to get back up. And I understand that. I get that. Using spirits like has the most overpowered ability of any killer in Chase, you know, minus Nurse, I guess. But
yeah, I was curious about that, because I know you can't
actually
see the power charging when we're in spectator mode. So I wasn't sure about that either. And thank you for clarifying that. I was kind of curious about that.
Yeah,
it's a good point.
They were definitely waiting for their ability. They were just trying to waste time. I think that's fine. I still think you should have maneuvered to the other side of the pallet and kicked it, because at that point the survivor is either going to have to run to the loop that's right there. And I understand you don't want to loop the jungle gym as a spirit. I get that. But the pallet is safe. You're not going to get them, and your spirit power is not up. Instead of wasting time, get the pallet out of the way, position them and zone them the way you want, and then go for them. Whether you catch them in, you know, the following chase, or you do a phase to get to them, it doesn't really matter. You should have a much better shot at getting rid of that survivor. So I think that was a kind of a mistake, in my opinion. Specifically, not only just because it was the execution of the chase at the end, but also because that would have denied PGS 3 points for the escape there, I think it was. I forget if it's 3 or 4 points for that escape for the third person. And it would have given them an additional 3 points on the save, or on the death hook. So you would have given yourself 3 more points and denied PGS, I think, at least 3, maybe even 4 points, which would have been, a 6 to 7 point differential, which would have meant Object of Depression would have come out as a leader in that trial instead of, barely trailing behind them in score. Again, it's a super close score. I'm not saying that, it was done poorly, but that would have, flipped the tide. It would have been I think it would have actually been 23-19 Object of Depression, or at least 22 to 18 or something like that. It would have flipped the in their favor. Like you said, they got a ton of hooks. Yeah. They had 8 hooks, which is really good. That is 2/3 of what you need, and a 1K. If they just got the 2K, it would have been significantly better for them, because now their survivors.
It was very close.
And I'm not saying the survivor squad's trash. I've played against Object of Depression survivor team. They are a solid group of survivors.
Oh,
they
absolutely.
gave CDM a run for their money, so they obviously have to be of some caliber here. So we know that their survivor squad can hang, but personally, if I don't give my team a chance, or try and give them a lead, I feel like I've shorted my team. I'm not saying Shine shorted his team, but you could have gotten 22-19 in favor instead of being down a little bit.
But
killer main to
at
killer
the same time, though, I mean, it's not like this score is anywhere near unrecoverable. I mean, it's just for points.
For sure.
So I mean, but you're not wrong though. It could have been a little closer if a different decision had been made. But I mean, you do have to. I mean, the pressure of it in the moment is definitely hard, and I don't think there was any serious mistake made. But you're not wrong though. I mean, it could have been better optimized a little bit, but at the same time, I probably would have been in about the same situation had it been me. So I don't know. Tough one. These teams are tough. It's hard to call.
It's the jitters. It's like. You've been chasing them around. You got one person down. There's one gen left. You don't have a 3 gen. You're trying to cat and mouse and pressure properly. Mm-hmm. And again, that is why I don't inherently like prayer beads. I understand.
I can see that.
Why people like it. It's a mind game involved. That's why I like the Yaka Yoka amulet. And because we don't have restrictions on, because other places, like, you're not allowed to use Yaka Yoka. You're not allowed to use prayer beads. You're not allowed to use anything but, uncommon on Spirit. Because we allow it, I would 100% run the Yakuyoke amulet. The Yakuyoke amulet is her best add-on by a long shot, in my opinion. And I think it would have given them a lot more pressure in chase because it just recharges faster. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's hindsight. And like you said, in the stress of the moment, wanting to get the last person down, they might have, it's right here in this loop is that when that pallet went down, they should have maneuvered and pushed Nia back, broke the pallet, and then continued to chase because at that point, she's even further away from that exit gate. And Gothorgy wouldn't have been able to be altruistic and, take a hit for them. So
absolutely,
it's unfortunate. Hindsight 2020. But like I said, heat of the moment, tough. And like here, yeah, this is when I knew that they used Dead Hard right there because it was so quick. So quick. Good reaction time. There was also one point where the Spirit backtracked when the Ace wasn't injured. And that's what tipped me off that they had Strider because you can't really all of a sudden just know that they backtrack unless you have Strider. Because that when the survivor's not injured, especially Ace. Because you know how Ace has built an iron will, right? So
does he?
Yeah, definitely Strider. Yeah. Ace is statistically the quietest survivor.
I actually didn't know that. And I'm like encyclopedia for
the
most
breathing
of this
is the breathing is barely audible. It is so subtle. It's kind of mean. It's honestly kind of mean.
I know he has the when he runs, he that whole thing. I don't know what that's about, but I'd have to listen to them, maybe compare them. I didn't actually know that. That's interesting. On another note, speaking of the Yakuyoke, or however I see it, I don't even know how do you say that.
The Yakuyoke amulet?
Is that how you say it? I actually have thought about doing a video series where I just pronounce Dead by Daylight terms.
But you have to pronounce them wrong.
Yeah, Yakuyoke, like something like that. And then we'll have the Stipe Tyke Agent, something like that. And no, actually, I was thinking about it because it says here, I'm reading the description, and it says that the Yakuyoke amulet works by increasing the maximum charges of the haunting by 3.5 charges. So what is it? It gives her more time to manipulate her, phase? Is it more phase time? Is that what it's saying?
I believe it's more phase time, but there's I've heard it talked about in several videos. Otts and a couple other streamers have talked about it. There's an unintended side effect where it actually just makes it charge faster too.
Really? Okay. I see what you're saying.
It's a double whammy.
I didn't see that. I was confused. So is it like a bugged add-on, or is it an intended consequence?
It's an unintended feature is what I'm going to say, because there's no bugs in Dead by Daylight. We don't talk about that.
That's cute. So, guys, we had a little bit of problems with the lobby. We're still working on it. Just finished watching this game over again. I'm enjoying rewatching it for sure. But we just want you to know we're having a little bit of a hard time with the lobby, and I think somebody dipped for a second. He's back in, and we're trying to get it back together. So sorry about that. Just a little delay. Game, it happens. Lobby issues are a thing, and we'll be back in a moment.
Network issues in Dead by Daylight?
What? I have no idea. It's bizarre. But yeah, we're very close. Rue, I have a question for you as well. Have you heard about the word?
The word? What's the word?
Well, actually, I almost went into the bird is the word, but actually, what I was going to say,
I thought that was the bit. I thought that's what we were going for.
No, I was actually just going to say, have you heard that you can go to vigoscourt.com and get all the latest stats on these teams? You can see all of the leaderboards for these teams as well. We have amazing stuff. Hello, oh, that's right, because you disappeared for a minute, right? We have stats on these teams. We have the upcoming schedule. We have an email address. You can email us there, and you can talk to us if you want to potentially join a team. You can go to our Discord. I believe it's ! Discord in the chat if you want to link to Discord. Yep. There's other commands as well. ! Commands will give you a full list of all the commands we have. But yeah, that is just a quick announcement between games. I figured it'd be nice to do a little plug. And Rugard, if you want to see where he streams, you can go to ! Rue. You can see Guiltspire, ! Guilt, and sad self-promotion, ! Poggy to see my channel as well. And we all stream separately from here, but we're here tonight and we're having a great time. I still need more coffee though. I might take a break between streams to do an extra coffee break. We're not doing the rules video this time. I just wanted to talk to you guys for a minute, so let's see what the chat's going on. Yeah, I
No
didn't
rules
really...
video.
Well, we
What
only
am I gonna
have
do
3
without my
rules
rules
videos
video?
anyway. We only have 3 rules videos anyway. So, like, you know, there's 4 games, so we can
rules?
put one of them off. Yeah, who needs rules, right?
Screw
so
the
we
rules.
got...
I have money.
Those 2 whiffs should not have happened. Yeah, it happens, though, Ninetales. I mean, that's just the thing. That
Oh, my
happens. But I
goodness.
agree. It's like, you know...
Get dedicated.
Right? It's just how it goes, you know? Just how it goes. All right, so we are in the game now. They are loaded in, and we see a nurse from FB Volpixia TM. This is a killer I don't think we've seen live on our stream yet, have we? Have we?
I think this is what chat was going on about.
Is it? Okay, I'm excited to see. So this must be a nurse main, because, I mean, well, they brought nurse, and I don't see anybody but nurse mains bringing nurses, honestly. That's very rare to see anything but that. And let's check on our starter squad. They are just hiding. Look at these guys. I think they might be waiting out the corrupt intervention. Yeah, it looks like they're being very patient. So right now at the moment, the killer has corrupt intervention going. And so you have 2 minutes of game time where it's like, if you just wait out those 2 minutes and nobody gets downed or hit, she just is a 3-perk killer. Like, that's just what it becomes. And it's basically a hard reset. But at this point, it would be up to the killer to take this moment into her hands and find a survivor. So she's going to want to be like playing hide and go seek to figure out where they are. And then once she's able to locate them, then she can start getting downs. But we are already 1 minute and 10 seconds into... Yeah, 1 minute and 10 seconds into this corrupt intervention. It's almost gone. And again, they're just waiting patiently. Look at these guys. They're just vibing. These guys are just vibing. And Volpixia is like, well, what am I supposed to do in this situation? Damn it, I don't have any like special tracking where I can just know where survivors are. So if they don't start doing gens or something in my corrupt intervention, then what am I supposed to do? And that's kind of what we're seeing. And unfortunately with Nurse, tracking survivors can be extremely difficult because you have such a large terror radius. They get a huge heads up when you're nearby. I think, doesn't she have like one of the largest, if not the largest terror radius? Isn't it like 36 or something? Yeah, isn't it like huge? Am I wrong about that? Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. What is the Nurse's terror radius? I'm pretty sure she has a massive terror radius. I mean, you can bring it down with add-ons or with perks, but as far as I know, it's pretty large. I wasn't aware. I mean, I could be wrong. And corrupt intervention gone. They do now start working on their generators, and they are split up. I think that's a 4-man split up. They straight up waited out. Yeah, they are all on individual gens.
Dang.
That is probably one of the smartest things I've seen happen in this league in terms of just how we start a game. It's like just everybody split up, wait out the corrupt patiently, and a whiff from the nurse as she tries to get the drop hit, and she doesn't get it. Brizzo takes a hit quickly. Now, this is where the nurse is going to start getting some snowball. Is exactly what we're seeing, and I think we just saw a missed skill check on that generator. I wonder what caused that. Maybe lag. And then Brizzo does end up taking it down outside of this area of the jungle gym, not quite able to save herself. And I wonder if this will be where Volpixia actually starts to make headway in the game. This is what I mean, though, about corrupt intervention. Some killers like this, it's just going to be really hard. But wow, she gets another hit on the real Zappies, very quickly finding her, or him, her. I'm going to say the character is a her. And gets a down on the real Zappies as well. Wow, this is an intense start to her gameplay. I mean, they waited out corrupt. She's a 3-perk killer, but at the same time, she is just pressuring the heck out of these survivors immediately, with Volpixia taking it down, Brizzo already being downed, a generator completing, though. We might be seeing another one well on the way. Here it goes, generator number 2. And is she going to make that hook? That's a faraway hook for the nurse, but she does actually make it. It was probably pretty close. The real Zappy's getting on the hook, and then I believe Brizzo now just coming off the hook, and now she's going right back in. We see Brizzo with borrowed time. That's exactly what she needed. Brizzo now going to maybe take another hit. No, a nice juke from Brizzo. This is where you're going to see mind meets mind, as you kind of have the nurse and the survivors playing mind games with each other, trying to confuse each other. A very nice play again by Brizzo. Just back and forth, being unpredictable, unhittable as much as you can, trying to stay out of just predictable movement, and that's really hard to do. Like, as soon as you become unpredictable, you've actually might have made yourself predictable, and so you have to think about that too, and like go back to being predictable. It's so weird. It's so weird to play against nurses, especially good nurses. It's so weird.
It's also
I've
kind
had a
of rough
couple
right now
games like that.
because the hits from Nurse feel really off.
She
Really,
feels like
really
she has a
off.
bigger lunge, I think, as a result of the desync problem. Which, I mean, some people think it's hitboxes. I don't think it's hitboxes. Scott Jun didn't. He gave a good analysis. He's probably smarter about this stuff than I ever will be, and mentioned that the desync is probably from the animations and something to do with the prediction models. But I'm not a developer, so don't ask me these questions. Anyway, we see a generator here at about 70% with 2 generators done. She is going to kick this one. Unfortunately, there is no Pop Goes the Weasel or anything else like that to help her out. So ends up just kicking it with a regular nice little nurse flick. Hello? Can I get back to the nurse, please? Thank you. Appreciate it, game.
Nurse is
All right.
32 meters.
32 meters. Okay, thank you very much. So is that standard size? Like
It
normal?
is regular.
Okay. For some reason, why did I think it was bigger? I don't know why I thought that. Anyway, Nurse gonna find Brizzo once again, tries to predict and misses it. Brizzo gets a lot of distance as a result. I think that was a double blink swing, so that's an extra long fatigue. And then she is going to teleport once again, trying to get a teleport on a 1T, but not really working. Ends up having to do double, but gets her that time going down again. Brizzo going to be on second hook, and instead of pressuring that right away, she goes for the Meg, and instead pressures the generator. So she doesn't want to get the hook right away, but we do see a gen completing in this process as well. Oh my goodness. Oh, and another generator going down.
Wow.
Holy shit. Oh, that is crazy. Is that one
And there's
99?
another one ready to go.
That one's like
Holy
90%.
cow.
These guys really made that time work for them. And that is all
Good
generators
grief.
completed with only 3 hooks for this killer. Pretty good squad once again struggling with their killer side to get any headway. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
It's pretty much a repeat of last week. Strong survivors, difficult killer matches. And I don't know if we can just chalk it up to the killers. If it's a combination of the game, the killers, and the survivors that they're going up against, I can't really say for sure. But that's what we're seeing, folks. And I believe Nancy might be going in for an possible unhook. But because she's being pressured, probably isn't going to get it right now. I think there's about 10 seconds left from Brizzo on the hook. And we see the second gate being opened as well. And Nia coming in from the back to get the unhook. I think Brizzo might be... Ooh, Brizzo is fully healed. There was an adrenaline off the hook.
Adrenaline?
Adrenaline off the hook. Oh, no. That is going to be... Oh, and a no.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. And we see a 2-man escape. Nancy being
They're like,
next
nope,
in
I'm
line. No, we are not doing this. No, thank you. That is definitely a no
today,
for
Satan.
me. Not today, Satan. I love it. Man. The Noed, though, at least going to secure the kill. So at least there's those 3 points for the kill. Welsh Girl, though, going to get out. And that is a 3-man escape, similar to the last game, but a lot less hooks than the other killer. So it is going to play against him in the overall score, but wow. I thought with that early pressure from the nurse after the corrupt intervention was gone that we might have seen something play out a little different, and we didn't. We didn't see it at all. We actually saw these survivors make up for that lost time in the opening really, really well. And the way they hid from that in the opening as well with the corrupt intervention was absolutely beautifully played. Fantastic.
For sure.
Fantastic. And let's just really quickly look at her build. We had No One Escapes Death, Pop Goes the Weasel, Shadowborn, which, I mean, that's like standard nurse affair right there. It's kind of like Strider on not Huntress, on Spirit. And then we have Corrupt Intervention as well. And then, of course, we have Dark Kincture and Fragile Wheeze, increasing the blink charge and moderately increase the blink recharge speed. So it's both of these for recharge speed. And unfortunately, that score is going to set them back. But it's not like it's a lost cause for PGS. They can come back in the second game and certainly do some damage, but they do have their work cut out for them. And I think Rue has given me a thumbs up. Is that right, Rue? No? No? Okay. We're good to go? All right.
We're good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are having a great time here this morning watching Week 5 matchups with Object of Depression versus Pretty Good Squad. And this was Vigo's Court trial number 2. Here is what you witnessed. We saw 5 generators getting done from this squad, same as Pretty Good Squad survivors, with a 3-man escape. Again, the same as Pretty Good Squad survivors. But only 4 hooks compared to the first game, 8 with OOD's killer, and a 1K, also the same. It's a pretty good squad. So the difference is going to be those 4 hooks, and yeah, we see that in the score, 22-9 in favor of Object of Depression by a pretty decent margin. They do close the gap. Object of Depression leading going into trial number 3. And this is going to be your post-game highlights, which are working this time. I don't know why sometimes they don't. I'm going to take a quick break, Rue, while you go over some highlights. I need to do Poggy things.
Poggy doing Poggy things. That's what I like to hear. Anyway. Oh, man. Well played on the Survivors part for waiting out Corrupt. I don't think I've ever seen a game I've never seen a team actually successfully wait out Corrupt for a full 2 minutes without engaging the killer. That was impressive. Usually the killer has some kind of bead, some line of sight, finds something. So really well done. And despite the fact they waited out Corrupt, she got 2 downs really, really quick back to back. I'm surprised they were able to find a way to come back from that pressure. I'm not really sure. I don't know if they should have camped the slug. I'm not really sure what might have been done better because they had good pressure. And then it just kind of fell apart really quickly. I'm not really sure what happened there. I will say a couple of missed blinks here and there. And again, I've played Nurse since the update. There are a lot of hits that feel like you swing into the back of the Survivor and it just doesn't connect. And it's just like, are you serious? I have had more than my fair share of rage-inducing non-hits in this game. But, man, just tough. I will say, as far as builds go, I love Noed, especially if you were like, okay, I'm probably not going to, I'm not going to get all the hooks before they leave, and you want that last little bit to maybe get a 2K out of nowhere. I love Noed. I think Noed's a great thing to bring randomly. That said, I don't run Shadowborn personally. It's not my favorite. I understand the argument behind Shadowborn, the vision and everything. I don't like Shadowborn. I would rather have a more active perk than Shadowborn personally, but it's personal preference. As like I said, taking Strider on Spirit. I don't personally take Strider on Spirit. I understand why people do take Strider on Spirit though. So I can't really knock the build. Corrupt not getting value sucks though, because Corrupt is so good. The fact that they couldn't make anything out of the Corrupt was probably what was crushing. Because can you imagine if they had those 2 downs and those 2 quick hooks during the Corrupt period? Especially if they hooked them outside of their corrupted area. The Nurse literally has no reason to go anywhere. They can camp them to second state if they really feel like it. So, really, really tough. That's probably a really good argument for something like Whispers on Nurse. If you're going to bring Corrupt Intervention, at least you'll know where you're in range. You can kind of triangulate their position. Maybe even Spies in the shadows. I prefer Spies. Yeah, I prefer Spies personally.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of where my head is at. I'm getting... I don't know if Pretty Good Fang is here. I'm going to go check. You keep talking for a moment.
Me keep talking? Okay, I'm going to keep talking. Do you hear that, chat? We're going to keep talking to each other. And anyway, I'm talking to myself. Pepe hands. Anyway. I'm trying to figure out where it could have gone, where it went wrong for the Nurse. The Survivors did a really good job. Brizzo specifically did a really good job of trying to lead the Nurse into areas where they just constantly lost line of sight. And in the time where, hits feel a bit dedicated, I can understand some of these whiffs too on their end. I don't know how much they play Nurse. Are they? I'm assuming they're a Nurse main. I'm assuming PGS brought them in to be their Nurse main, which is smart. I understand bringing in a Nurse main. Maybe they just haven't played in competitive before. They haven't seen. Because one thing to be sure is that I will say, and I'm not saying this negatively, I felt like they played a lot cleaner than we've seen League play. Where in League, it's very common to just slug and tunnel because it's arguably some of the best ways to apply pressure. And I think they only went after Brizzo that one time and then kind of gave up early and then went back to them. I don't know. It was tough. It was tough. Rue, no what? I don't know what you're saying. Oh, man. Really, really close game, though. Really, really close game. I feel like at any point in time, the Nurse could have snowballed, and it just might have not come together. Again, I know for a fact that Object of Depression is a super good Survivor squad. So giving any killer, the loops is not surprising to me from them. And Again, this is only, what is that, a 9-point lead? Again, still very closable for PGS. I don't know what they're going to bring out next.
I have a question.
What's up?
Nightlight in the chat is saying that it's comp. Why would you take Spies from the Shadows? Well, I mean, it's my opinion, and I'm not a comp player anymore. I was for a little bit in the early season of last season. I'm not now, but I'm just assessing it from what we saw in this game, and all I was saying is that a tracking perk, whether it's Spies from the Shadows, Whispers, whatever the case may be, anything that could give you some early game information would have been really useful to pair with that Corrupt Intervention, because she just lost Corrupt Intervention for literally nothing. So it ended up being a 0 perk, or a 1 perk loss for nothing. So I wasn't saying that she should have brought Spies from the Shadows. I'm saying if you're bringing Corrupt Intervention and you want to get use out of it and you're having trouble getting use out of it, that maybe a tracking perk would be the right way to go. I don't know if that's necessarily the one you would want to bring. I guess it's entirely up to your playstyle, but I like Spies from the Shadows. Even when I've done comp games before, I've used it, and it gets some use, but yeah, I mean, it's not probably the best perk. There probably are other ones you could consider. Someone suggested barbecue and chili, but I mean, if that's the point, is you want to get that early down, and they just hid from her for the entire opening of the game. So I don't know if that would have been good either. I don't know. What do you think, Brew?
So the argument against barbecue is that if you're in competitive, you don't need barbecue, because what is barbecue going to tell you? Oh, look, all the people that I'm not, chasing right now are on gens. If you want to find people, just go to gens. So you don't need barbecue per se. But yeah, during the corrupt period, they're not always incentivized to bust out gens. So, and I don't know, tracking on nurse is just tough. Especially on this map, you kind of have to find high points and try and, catch survivor out of, position. It's just tough.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not trying to argue with the chat or anything. They're not necessarily wrong, and if that's how they don't want to play a perk, that's totally fine. I mean, I'm not judging anyone here for what they did. I just think that we saw no use out of Corrupt, and maybe there should have been something to help it along a little bit. But nevertheless, we are actually switching killers to Gothergy on killer. We don't have yet the full squad in here, so we will stick on these highlights for a moment so you guys can enjoy the game highlights. And wow, I just love watching those slaps from the nurse. Absolutely beautiful. And I think everybody's getting back in. We're having some lobby issues today. Some PlayStation NAT problems, it seems. And now everybody's in. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. So OOD, again, will be surviving. This will be their second Survivor game. And then they'll switch sides one last time with Pretty Good Squad playing as Survivor. So hopefully Pretty Good Squad's killer this time can bring in some 4K. Maybe that's what they really need, is they need a strong 3 or 4K, I think, in order to bring this score back to something manageable going into the last game. But let's see how they do.
I mean, right now it's still manageable. We've seen people come back from a 9-point deficit.
True.
It would just be... It would just be, easier. And again, PGS will be surviving last, so they do technically have the edge in that last one too. So we'll see. We will just have to see. We will see. We got Gothergy killing. We got Welsh. Okay, we got I soaked in bleach subbing in this time around.
Oh no, I'm talking to Nightlight right now. I want to say I agree with you. Actually, I don't think you're being offensive at all, and I think you're explaining your point very well. I agree with you. I think you're onto a very good point about perks. And on that note, I do want to say I think these teams are both doing great tonight. These scores are tight. I mean, a 9-point lead is a good lead, but it's not a blowout at all. I mean, this is still really close. This is anybody's game right now. And I want to see where the turning point's going to be. Is it going to be game 3 that we're going to see the turning point? Or are we going to be a tied game going into game 4? That would be interesting to see for sure, because you don't see that too often, but we've seen it a couple times where it's very close to tied. I think we've seen one actual tied game at Trial 3 where it went into Trial 4 as a tie, which was pretty insane. I like to see that, because then both teams are like, okay, look, we gotta we just gotta bring the best thing we can do. We gotta play super hard, and that's what we want to see here for sure. But yeah, thank you all so much for your comments. Definitely appreciate it, and I think you guys are amazing for hanging out with us tonight. Really grateful to have you all here, and thank you for the subs. By the way, we got a couple subscribers, and we also have a couple of people who are leaving some cute little emotes in the chat. By the way, we do have our own emotes as well. I'll leave some in the chat for you. I think my favorite one has to be The big oof. That's my favorite one.
The big oof.
The big oof. Yeah, it's not just oof. It's big oof, to be clear, in case that was unclear.
The biggest.
Oh, very nicely done. And what is that? What was that? I didn't even see what it was. Oh, another gifted tier sub from Little Rugard. Who is that? Who's Little Rugard? Anybody know? I never heard of
I don't know that person. I don't know who that is. I think they're a ghost. I don't think they exist.
A ghost?
No. I think they might
boy.
even be a shell of their former self, you might even say.
You could be right. You could be absolutely right. We're still waiting on one other member of the team, I think, to ready up. And then once we're ready up, we'll get back into game number 3. We'll see trial number 3 in just a moment. Nightlight says, I do know, but League is like tourney, just more matches. Yeah, that's pretty true. I think the only exception is we just don't do like a... It's not like there's a... You're out after a loss kind of thing. You still go up against everybody in the league every week that we play. So that's the difference between a league and a tournament usually. Most tournaments are, not all, but most of them are double elimination rounds, I believe. A good chunk of them. Rue, what killer do you want to see in Trial 3? Because I was thinking let's just bring a nurse again. But at the same time,
we got
strengths may not
we got
be
nurse. I'm calling for Freddy. Show me the sleep, because dear goodness knows I need to sleep.
I've seen Gothology do some pretty nasty Freddy moves on us, on us. But I mean, I played with him, is what I mean. And so I've definitely seen him do that. I've also seen him do some pretty hard Legion games. Maybe he'll go Legion, but at the same time, with such a score they need to come back from, that might be a risky play to bring a killer like Legion. I don't know. You're a Legion killer, so you tell me, is that risky?
You can get away with it potentially. You're just going to take the risk that OOD is going to loop you to death potentially. I've played Legion against Object Depression, and I did okay against them. Let's put it that way. Object Depression will probably just spread out really far and deny you a lot of your, value as Frenzy, so that you'll probably just be reduced to an M1 killer most of the time. And if you're a good M1 killer, who knows? You might get the 2 or 3K. I would be surprised if you could bring a Legion against a team like Object Depression and get a 4K. But hey, prove me wrong. And you know what? Tell you what, if they bring a Legion and 4K Object Depression, I'll straight up gift 10 subs. Let's put it that way. I love Legion. I love Legion, but it's so hard for it to work in comp.
You're going to gift 10 subs for what now? I was talking to the team. I didn't hear you.
If Gothology brings Legion and 4K's Object of Depression, I will give 10 subs to the jury. Let's put it that way, okay?
You're a madman. You know that? You're an absolute madman.
I want to be proven wrong here. I want to see someone take Legion and go crazy with it. Just say, I love Legion. Hashtag,
I know you do.
Hashtag buff Legion. Buff Legion.
By the way,
do it.
You know who I've been playing a lot more? I would like to see more as well in the league. I've been playing more Huntress. And I gotta say, people don't like Huntress.
Huntress is tough.
I've had a strange, I've been playing better. Like, I started off being, absolute crap at Huntress, but now I'm, decent, where I can actually get early downs and kills. People just be disconnected, man. It's they don't like it. They just don't. I don't bring Eerie Head or anything. It's just normal, regular Huntress with a green add-on or something, and they're just like, okay, I'm gone. And then this one Dwight points at the hook and is like, all right, I'm out. I'm not doing this. He's like, please hook me again. I want to leave. I don't want to DC and take the penalty. So maybe we could see some Huntress. That would be nice. Anyway, they're readying up right now. We're gonna go into the rules video for trial number 3. We'll be right back after this. Keep your seats, folks. All right, everyone, we're going to be looking at how the game works from the killer side. Now, killer points. Each survivor is worth a total of 6 points per survivor. First hook is 1 point, second is 2, and third is 3 points. Progressing is only 1 point. Killer bonus points. Every 5,000 blood points is 1 point. Getting to hatch first is also 1 point. A killer can only be used a total of 3 times in the season. Killers have a 150 millisecond ping limit. Also, should a reset occur, the killer and perks must remain the same. Bringing the wrong map is a forced reset, and minus 10 points. Bringing a killer a 4th time is 10 points off, and changing a build after is also 10 points. Not being on the roster is a 5 point and a reset. Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are here with Week 5 matchups with Object of Depression versus Pretty Good Squad, and I'm looking forward to seeing what these teams have in store for us tonight. We saw some pretty interesting games in the first 2 trials, for sure. We saw a fantastic nurse game, which could have gone a little better, but ultimately they kept the score pretty close, so not too bad at all. And then the first game with, who was it on Killer? I can't remember who it was, but they did really well. I know what team it was, but I mean, what was the name of the killer again?
From last
I can't
game?
remember. Yeah. The first game, trial number 1.
Pixia. Oh, from the first game was Shiny.
Shiny, that's right,
killer.
Shiny. Yeah. So I think we just saw a hag. Did I just see a hag? I did.
Think you saw a hag.
Wow, that's... You know, there's something to be said about this choice, actually, and I'm going to put it this way. Remember when I told you guys that I'm a hag main and the first game I played was 1 game and that was it? It was against Object of Depression, and I got a 4K. So maybe they've gotten better with hag. Maybe they've gotten better with hag, but at the same time, maybe he's hoping they haven't, and we'll see if Gothology is able to capitalize. But once again, we see the Survivors doing exactly what they did last time against Corrupt, which is hiding away from Corrupt. However, with the hag, it's a little different, because the hag isn't going for early downs. She's going for early setup, which is basically where I think that Corrupt Intervention is a little more useful, even though I still don't like Corrupt Intervention, generally speaking. I see where it has utility for someone like Hag or Trapper a little more than other killers. So anyway, go ahead, Rue. You wanted to say something.
I wouldn't say that Hag doesn't want early downs. I think all killers want early downs, but
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're not going to pursue it. Yeah.
The goal immediately is to just get your setup as well. And if you do get an early down, great, but that's not necessarily what you're expecting, especially in comp. You're expecting that. Whoa! But we do see him finding one of the survivors around these boxes at the top of the coal tower. Almost is able to get the hit on the drop, but doesn't. However, we also see Welsh Girl taking a hit. I think that's the Rusty Shackles that's preventing from knowing where the trap was. So they get close to the gen and then take the hit. However, so far, not an actual down, just hits. Nothing substantial from this yet, but out of place. Nancy Guts, a dead hard though, into the pallet, almost got downed, but that dead hard saved her. That dead hard actually scared me because of the angle that it came at. However, I Soaked in Bleach going to now take a hit as well, and I Soaked in Bleach also injured. So that's 3 injuries out of the 4 survivors on the map right now. And I think Hag might be retargeting. However, generators are also getting done, so we'll see what happens here. Ooh, going for the ITH, but she gets a little distance, does a nice edge, and gets away, and another dead hard away. This is fantastic. Absolutely phenomenal play. Object of Depression definitely doing better, but does get Fang down inside the pallet. She's not able to drop the pallet, and that is going to be a first down. We see also a sprint burst from Brizzo, and that generator is pretty close to finish. I think Gothology wanted to pressure it a little bit, but Brizzo might be able to get back to it, possibly finish it. This hook is pretty close, though, so I don't know. That'd be risky. Yeah, he does take that teleport. They're not able to get the gen done. 5 gens still remaining with 1 hook, and we see a Pop Goes the Weasel in play as well. Brizzo kind of stepping back. Nancy getting up to 70% on her generator.
I haven't seen Pop on Hag very often. Usually they ignore gen perks like that. They just want to go for their web. That's interesting.
It depends on the play style, but you're not wrong. Like, my play style with Hag is just chase hit, chase hit, chase hit, chase hit. I don't do regression, right? But at the same time, regression can be really good if that's what you're going for, and at least you do it. And you want to get that, you want to get those perk values. Like, you're going to want to go and use your Pop Goes the Weasel if you have it. Like, sometimes it can be easy to forget or neglect if you see a survivor or want to take a teleport. And that's kind of why I don't use it, because I can often neglect to use my Pop sometimes and end up taking too long or miss it. But she did use it, and she's using it effectively. And coming back to check the hook as well. And I believe Nancy was going in for the unhook and gets spotted and may actually go down. He tries to get a swing here, but Nancy was hiding in the right spot. And now she gets to stage 2 and does get off the hook. So Fang got to stage 2. And then, wow, Nancy going down inside the shack pallet as well. Holy cow.
That's a lot of pressure.
That is a lot of pressure. She's moonwalking on the ground. I saw that the other day on a survivor. I was like, what the heck is this movement? This is really funny. I didn't know you could do that. The ground moonwalk. And the Hag takes the teleport, gets another down on the real Zappies. Wow. Fantastic play with another down, a double down. And I think Welsh Girl's going to get back up. Yeah, right now is when they get Welsh Girl back up. This killer has a ton of pressure right now. She just needs to maintain this pressure. Now, unfortunately, with the progression to stage 2, there is a little bit of a loss of hook points. So you're going to want to capitalize on those hook points some more by making sure they can at least possibly get unhooks occasionally. You don't want to just give them stuff for free, though, because if you give a survivor a mile or a rope, they will give you a mile or something. I don't know what the turn of phrase is. You guys know what I'm trying to say. I'm bad with old school phrases. They did. They did a full 3-man reset with the real Zappies hanging out on hook. Brizzo taking a hit inside the Killer Shack now. And I think Fang might be staying away from where everybody is on purpose because she's dead on hook. She doesn't want to get caught out. And I believe Welsh Girl,
they're going to have to protect her.
Working her way inside. Now, I don't like this placement of the trap. This is just me. For me, I always have trouble with those inside the shack generator trap placements. I get caught on things. I try to get an ITH. It doesn't really work. And what I do is I like to put it on the outside of the shack. But, you know, you do what you do, Guth. It seems to be working for you, so keep up the good work. Franklin's demise, though, as well, we saw, and so they have no items anymore. She keeps trapping their items, too, which is smart. That's a smart way to do it. And Gothragy gets the down now on Brizzo as well. And that's going to be a third down. Sorry, third hook for Gothragy. And just checking in on the drivers, we see a generator at 20%. And I believe, who are you again? You are the real Zappies, right. And you're going in for the unhook. Ooh, that is a little risky. You're injured, but as long as you're careful not to trip that trap. Yeah, she sees it. She's like, nah, I ain't tripping that. Got to be careful getting off that hook. And then you want to trip it once you start to run and leave, possibly. You don't necessarily need to, but it's sometimes a good strategy to do that to bait the teleport once you've gotten to the edge of the trap. And we do see that sometimes. I've seen it a lot in the higher level plays with Hag. And it can be really annoying, but she does teleport and find Welsh Girl, who does end up taking a hit. I believe Gothragy's doing a good job of hiding his traps from these survivors, not being too predictable about where he places them, other than the one on the hook, which just wastes their time. And another ITH on Eye Soaked in Bleach. Fantastic plays right now from Gothragy. And another one, getting another one on Brizzo. And yet again, Eye Soaked in Bleach going down as well. Just hit after hit after hit. This is going to be like a 32K game, even if it's not a 4K. This guy's getting a ton of points. You guarantee those blood points are going to be huge. And yeah, killers and survivors get blood point bonus points. And yeah, that's also an early death hook as well for Fang. Wow, that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate for Object of Depression. Gothragy is coming in with a strong Hag showing, and they are struggling. These traps are a little close together, Gothragy. I don't know about that one. I'm not sure about that. It's a little close.
I think they just want to make sure that they have both sides covered.
I'm such a Hag main. I can't stop. Exclamation mark Hag facts in the chat if you didn't know that. I see Lesbian Love doing it in the chat already, but yeah, this... These survivors are probably really timid right now after seeing one of their teammates die so early. They have their work cut out for them, and this could be the massive turning point for a pretty good squad in this game. Oh, this is exactly what they needed right now, is to get these hits and these downs. Hag is something they struggled against, like I said, in Season 1, and I think they're struggling again right now. Hag is definitely a tricky killer. Currently just setting up, be very, very quiet. We're hunting survivors. I don't know what accent that was. But yeah, this is what I love about it. It's like, I feel like I'm watching a chess tournament, you know? Like, it doesn't feel like Dead by Daylight when I'm watching Hag games. It feels like a deadly chess tournament. Like, there's just like those slow periods where you're thinking and like, all right, I have to think about my setup. And again, another ITH on Welsh Girl, and she has a med kit. Gonna trap the med kit, obviously. That's the smart play when you got Franklin's. You want to use that on Hag for sure. If you bring it, use it. Trap those items. Make sure they can't get them back. Or if they do, they have to slow walk to them to waste their time even more. 3 generators still done, or still remaining. She does slow walk to get her item. It's so cute. The survivors look so innocent. They do. They look so innocent. They're just being quiet and stealthy. They're all so immersed. Like, I'm just immersed with them. I'm like watching, waiting to see what's going to happen. And we do see, of course, Brizzo taking another hit. And then she's teleporting again, finding another one. So now this is Welsh Girl working her way inside, tries to do a little bit of juking, isn't able to get to safety and goes down. That'll be first hook for Welsh Girl, who I think is going to take in, going to get the immediate hook, not going to wait. There's no point. And that's going to be rough, as these survivors are, however, working on gens. This one's at about 90% and should get done pretty soon. Double teaming it, should see it pop in just now. Yeah, there it is. In just now. Yeah, that's how you grammar. Wow, a sprint burst from Brizzo. Going to give him tons of distance in the early chase against the killer. Going to want to hope you don't find a chase, but she switches targets with the teleport, going to the Real Zappies. Real Zappies, again, getting a ton of distance on the killer as well, even with the IT, and not going to work as well. And then Brizzo going down. That is unfortunate. Running into one of the traps. This is what I meant about having predictable traps. That trap was like in a weird but workable walking spot, you know, but not somewhere where you would necessarily expect it to be as a survivor. It's not like I'm going to be thinking, oh, there's going to be a trap right here in this grass where I'm walking, because there's so much grass in this map. How are you even going to know? Tries to do an ITH, not really working out. I think we might be seeing a borrowed time. There's the borrowed time play, and I believe the Real Zappies is now the target. No, switching back to Welsh Girl. Okay, so we want to get that borrowed time grill down. I'd be a little worried about a decisive strike, but again, I mean, would you really be worried about decisive strike this late in the game with already a death? I don't know. Probably not. But I don't like decisive strike. And Welsh Girl does go down to inside of the killer shack. Fantastic performance right now from Gothergy, waiting patiently so he can get a hit on Meg. And again, Brizzo trying to bait the borrowed time hit. Strange teleport choice with an ITH. Hag doesn't really have any issue right now. She has saved the best for last. Those hits are really fast, so she can swing at whatever, and it's fine. Not really wasting a whole lot of time with it. Almost tries to get another ITH. And does on the other side of the pallet, getting the Real Zappies down quickly. And I think we're going to see the same thing right here. This could be trouble for Brizzo. Brizzo's the last man standing. And I believe that's going to be a down, quite possibly. This is a moderately safe pallet in the right hands. Brizzo's doing a very good job of looping it. That's exactly what I will see. And then abandons it as she puts down her trap. Very nicely done. And Brizzo going to go into the coal tower, I believe, to try to get some distance. And the Real Zappy's getting up with Unbreakable. And then getting up her teammate, a double recovery. Fantastic job, again, by Object of Depression to pick up their team and get going. Hag lost all of that down pressure. However, they do have to also consider resetting. Nightlight in the chat, again, with a great analysis, says they lost this game once they stealth out Corrupt. I think you might be onto something. We'll definitely review some of that in the post-game.
Web.
Oh, yeah. Like, they gave her all of the setup time that she needed. Just no pressure on the gens, just stealthing out that Corrupt. Something against Hag where it's like, it's not nearly as worth it as other survivors. Ooh, and she takes another teleport. I'm sorry, other killers. And Welsh Girl not going to drop the pallet right away. Going on the other side to drop it, but Hag not falling for the mind game and is going to get Welsh Girl down, who will be on second hook. This would be at the time where I would start thinking, maybe we should just go ahead and let ourselves die. Not to give any more 3 hook points to the killer, because you get 3 points for that third hook. And
wait, does the tag not have any traps?
Wait, does she not? No, she has 9 traps right now in her hands, so she has no traps on the ground. Which, I mean, there's something to be said about that potentially being a problem, but at the same time, look at how much pressure she has. I mean, there's 2 survivors only working on a gen. They're both injured.
Yeah, she did go through and pop a lot of her traps recently, so...
Ooh, but they get that gen done anyway. These survivors are still getting work done. They are on a roll. They might actually be able to recover this if they're really, really careful. And I mean, they have to reset, which we do see them doing. I don't know if they're going to have time to get Welsh Girl if they're not careful. They would want to make... Yeah, I don't think they're going to get it. They would have wanted to made that decision... right now, like before they even started healing the second one. I would have just healed one of you, let the injured one go do a gen, let the healed one go for the unhook, but they don't do that, and as a result, they're going to lose Welsh Girl, but they'll be fully healed.
I don't think they can afford to for that,
No.
and the reason is I think she's got a 3 gen. I don't think
I
you
think
can
you might
afford
be
to let
right.
someone go injured.
Let me see again, because I didn't actually get a good look at the generator placement. So let's try to see if we can find it. Once she turns around, ooh, but the Brizzo gonna be taking an ITH as the killer works her way around through the jungle gym, trying to get her down again, and does that setup time working perfectly in her favor. And I think you're right about the 3-gen. I'm having a hard time seeing it. I got a little bit dizzy when the hag turned around and I didn't see it. Yes, it is. It is a straight line. Yep, straight line from jungle gym to shack. So that is exactly what we see. Thank you for that, Rue, because I do have trouble seeing that sometimes.
Yeah.
My eyes ain't what they used to be. I'm an old man.
But yeah, that would make sense why they decided to double heal up, because yeah, you can't send injured survivor into the hag web. You're just gonna you're asking for death.
And interestingly, the hag is choosing to go for the 4-man slug, it seems, as she's looking for the last survivor who's nowhere nearby at all. She is not going for that heal up. If anything, she'd be like, nah, just let her die on the ground. I'll wait out the 3 minutes or however long it is. I don't care. Well, you're not going to get me to come out and risk it. Well, yes, but we don't know where it is. Oh, she found it. Okay, she knows where Hatch is. She's like, yeah, I got this. I got this. You got to be careful not to get crows on you at this stage, though, because that's something we've seen before, too.
I never hide in lockers. Never hide in lockers next to the hatch. Oh, jeez. Oh, goodness. Iron Maiden value. But
I'm joking, by the way. That would not have been a good perk to bring. It was a joke, guys, before you start calling me out in the chat.
Hear that, guys? Poggy wants to see Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden meta, yeah.
Yeah.
No, seriously, on a serious note, though, we are seeing the 4-man slug. If I were Hag right now and you desperately want to do this 4-man slug, I mean, go look for your hatch. I mean, just go find it. That's what you're going to have to do at this point. You know, you're not really going to have a lot of choices.
You know, the survivors are going to be looking for hatch, and that's why I say don't look in the... See, exactly. Do not look. Do not jump in the locker. It's so obvious.
There it is. Yeah, Iron Maiden value, though, right?
Oh, and they found him.
Ooh, I think she did spot her. Yep. I think you're absolutely right. That could be the end of the real Zappies. But there is a question in my mind.
Spot her. Oh, they did? Okay.
I think she did, yeah. She was just waiting for her moment. Trying to get a little setup going. Does secure a hit. Whether she secures the down or not, I think just comes down to a matter... Okay. Comes down to a matter of time. That was a delayed reaction on that one. But at this point, I think it's literally just a matter of time. Oh, this is dirty. This is dirty. Don't do it, Gotham G. That's dirty. Oh, he's going to be placing the trap down at the drop points. That is so not cool, man. Toxic. Toxic. Oh, here we go. This is going to be it right here, I think. Yeah. Oh, but she gets away with a balanced landing play. Fantastic for the real Zappies, getting that extra distance, outplaying the hag on her mind game. Fantastic. And we see that Meg going in for another loop into the coal tower. However, the doors are gone, and I think this is going to be the final judgment as she goes down around this box. Does a nice 360, though, trying to save face. And ultimately, the Real Zappies does take the down. But well done, Real Zappies. Well played, sir. That was phenomenal. Wow.
Where's Brizzo? Did they crawl to the hatch?
That?
No, they didn't.
No, they're about to die, though. Crawling to the hatch would have been an insane idea, though.
Oh, my goodness. Right?
But if they I don't think they're even going to live.
That's no points.
That's true. There's no points for a bleed out, though. So that's probably what she was going for, was the no-point game. Because going for the hatch, yeah, she could have done it, but here's the hag right here, so she wouldn't have made it anyway, even if she had come over here. Given the hack that free hook, no thank you. No thank you. So Brizzo dies on the ground, does get the hatch kick, and wow, 30,000 points with a probably phenomenal overall score, which I haven't seen yet, and I will wait until Rue calculates the blood point bonuses. That was a long 19-minute game. Jesus.
That was very long. Good grief.
That was, like, I feel like I need a nap after that one. Or maybe a cookie or something. I have no idea. That was insane. Just insane. I love hack games, though, so I was into that every minute of it. And if I get quiet, guys, I don't mean to get too quiet, but sometimes I'm just like analyzing the moment, like trying to see what's going to happen. I'm with you. Like, I'm here with you guys. So I'm like, I'm seeing this for the first time too. And yeah, I sometimes have my moments where I'm like, maybe I need to think about this a bit more before I say anything. And we're going to go into the post-game review. We'll be right back with trial number 4 and some post-game highlights as well. Stay tuned. Adrenaline inbound. All right, week 5 matchups with Object of Depression versus Pretty Good Squad. And yeah, that was trial number 3. This is your post-game review, and here is what you witnessed. 4 generators getting done. Not bad, considering what they had to work with in that game, but 0 escapes. Oof. Big oof for Object of Depression compared to their first game. But again, 8 hooks. Really good showing for the Hag on PGS with a 4K. And that's what you like to see as a Hag, absolutely. 10-23 in favor of Pretty Good Squad. Pretty Good Squad closing the gap on that. Actually taking the lead as well. Pretty Good Squad leads now going into trial number 4. Phenomenal game overall. And I can't wait to see what Object of Depression can pull out for trial number 4. Are they going to have a similar game in response? Is Pretty Good Squad going to crush it? I guess you have to wait and see. But in the meantime, here are your post-game highlights. Rue, take us away.
That's a very interesting point that they're pointing out. The order of operations for the end of that game, I don't know if you saw it, but the chat pointed out. I didn't even see it either. So did you know Brizzo had adrenaline on the ground? But it happened to be that Brizzo died seconds before Zappies died on hook, so the hatch closing didn't cause adrenaline to spike. They were 2 seconds off of an adrenaline play.
You know what's interesting about that? It's probably better not to have gotten the adrenaline play, because they were able to deny 3 points because they didn't get hooked. So the fact that the adrenaline didn't happen probably was actually better than the adrenaline happening. Because, I mean, yeah, okay, maybe she could have gotten the exit, but... I mean, really, though? But really? Like, I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't think she would have gotten the exit, because, I mean, it's not a very big map. It really isn't. So very easily could have gotten from both exits. It depends on where the exits are. I didn't really get a good look at where the exit gates were, because they didn't ever go off, so I don't know. But... yeah, it would have depended a great... that would have been too RNG for me. I'm kind of glad she died. Not in any, like, I'm glad you're dead kind of sense, but, like, for the team's own sake, the score is still very close. And had she given that hook, it would have been another 3 points for the PGS if they were able to get the hook.
Okay. Poggy, check the production chat. Anyway, so analysis. I think I have to agree. It didn't work in the killer's favor last time for Corrupt Intervention. Vulpixia got denied Corrupt Intervention value. However, it paved the way for Hag getting obscene Corrupt Intervention value. I'm curious at what point the survivors figured out that they were playing it against the Hag. Because oftentimes you see Corrupt Intervention, and if you don't see, like, you know, pig boxes, plague fountains, trapper traps, Freddy timers, or, you know, their boxes or whatnot, you're just like, okay, it's not any of the obvious killers. We're just going to wait out Corrupt. And it burned them at this time, waiting out Corrupt. First time, it was great for them. Second time, I think that's what set this game in motion. Now, sure, there was at one point where Gothorgy didn't have a single trap set down, but that was after going on a survivor slapping spree that I have seen, I've never seen the likes of before. I think that was 4 in succession ITHs, and that was crazy. So... phenomenal job on their part. Phenomenal job. Survivors, honestly, the fact that they even got down to 1 gen left, losing Feng, yeah, because they lost Feng at 3 gens remaining and still managed to pull out 2 gens before everything, you know, ended up, you know, going out of the, you know, losing. Before losing, I don't know. I was trying to find a nice way to say it. Yeah, they did good holding out. It didn't end up working out. I'm trying to go back and figure out these Hag plays, because this was really, really good. Like, Gothorgy did some really interesting traps that got the survivors multiple times. Like, this trap right over here got Nancy so many times. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but dang, that was rough. Yeah, I know that Poggy doesn't personally like Corrupt on Hag. I like it on Hag. It gives you an area. You can either go towards the corrupted area and let that be your 3 gen, or it just, you know, lets you set up in a much, you know, smaller area and you can possibly get an early down.
Well, but to be fair, my opinion is based on pubs, not necessarily on comp. I haven't played enough comp games with the Hag and Corrupt Intervention to be able to say, yes, I like it, no, I don't. I'm just saying that I've used it a lot on pubs and had trouble with it. Didn't really get a ton of use out of it. But, I mean, we've seen use out of it today. It's going to be very dependent on the killer, maybe their playstyle, whether or not they use it effectively. And I think Gothorgy did a really good job using it. So I don't want to sound like I'm just against Corrupt Intervention. That's not the case at all. It's just dependent on the situation and possibly the killer. I know.
Against Corrupt Intervention and his for Iron Maiden meta.
Shut up. All right. So really quickly, we have an announcement to make about the score. The score, maybe you noticed, it went from 451 for OOD to 46. They got a 5-point penalty. Brizzo brought the wrong cosmetic, and that is against the rules. Rule number 23D, exclamation mark, rules, I think will take you there. To go see all the rules, which they're a little convoluted. We're working on a way to make it look a little easier for the layman. Why am I readying up? What the hell am I doing?
We need to make a dynamic command where you can type in rules and then give that specific rule, and it brings it out into chat. That'd be so cool.
That would be... I don't have that kind of programming knowledge. Do you want to do that? I mean, right here, look at Brizzo doing this loop. This loop is phenomenally well done. Like, she played that perfect, and then goes into the Cold Tower. I mean, that's just... It's hard to loop Hag sometimes because she can really screw you up with those traps, but I mean, these drivers just did a really good job around most of these loops. It was really just the ITHs that screwed them up, not so much the loops. They did good on the loops.
For sure. And again, like, Gothorgy did really well getting the 4K, but 4K with 8 hooks, I'm surprised it wasn't higher. A lot of progressions happened this time around that I wasn't expecting to happen. But I guess that's just what happens when you snowball with Hag, and the survivors never get a chance to gasp for air again, and so they ended up just like dying on hook. Also, this was a phenomenal balance landing play. Actually, hold on, that was twice. That we saw that at the beginning and the end of the game. So yeah, Gothorgy had to know they had balance landing.
Might have forgotten. I mean, it was a long game. It'd be easy to forget something like that. I could see that happening in the moment. But, I mean, maybe he was hoping that he could catch it anyway and save the best for last would have come in handy there. I mean, that's what he had. So, I mean, maybe it would have helped him out to get the hit early. And he did get her down, so it wasn't the end of the world. But at the same time, maybe getting her down earlier would have enabled him to get Brizzo on the hook before she died on the ground. So, I mean, there's an argument to be made for that, too. And, of course, had he gotten the down earlier on her, he would have gotten the hatch down earlier as well. And so the adrenaline would have happened. There's like so many things that could have gone different just from that one moment. Like that extra hook that you would have gotten would have been 3 more points. It's complicated. These games are complicated. It's literally like chess when you're playing with Hag. It is a chess game a lot of the times with Hag, especially, and that's why I love Hag so much. Sorry, I could go on all day about how much I love Hag.
You're good. No, Gothorgy definitely helped put them in a really good spot now going into this last trial. So good for them. And we shall just have to see.
You okay? I guess you're done. So, what are you thinking for the last game? So we have OOD switching sides, playing killer role. We're going to go ahead and let you see that in a second as we switch their sides. And I might have to do some back-end technical stuff for a moment, but everything is working as intended today, which is actually nothing short of a miracle. And we do see OOD going to be taking killer. We see the real Zappies going on their killer tonight. What are you bringing if you're the real Zappies right now? What is in your mind?
Let's see. So I've seen the real Zappies play before. I think they bring Nurse.
You don't think they're going to bring Twins?
Personally.
Twins main? Twins main confirmed?
No, I don't. I think they're going to leave us hanging for when they're going to bring Twins. I think they're going to bring Nurse. I've seen them play Nurse before. I know that they're not bad. Yeah. I think they'll bring Nurse. If not Freddy, they could just bring Freddy and just be like, all right, let's go auto game.
It's sorry, still
I know that Freddy's
game.
Not technically auto game, but Freddy feels like auto game.
He's, killer with training wheels. He is phenomenal killer. I mean, he's strong, A tier for sure, and, he's overperforming, so we need to nerf him. But I think what we're going to see is either something like a Freddy, maybe a Nurse as well. I would really like to see a Huntress game, honestly. I don't think we've seen a single Huntress game this whole season so far. I'm irking for some Huntress. Like some really good Huntress plays. I don't know if Real Zappies is good at Huntress. I don't think I've seen him play Huntress. I've seen him play Nurse, like you have, and I've seen him play Freddy, I think. I don't know who else he's played. Probably a little bit of everything, I presume. I mean, He's probably one of those type of killers. I do that now too. I'm starting to get to playing other killers as well.
Here's my beef with Huntress. I like Huntress, but here's the issue: is that I'm not going to say that Nurse and Huntress have a similar skill cap, but Nurse and Huntress have super high skill caps compared to all the other killers. However, you get far less value from having a high skill cap in Huntress as opposed to having a high skill cap in Nurse. High skill cap in Huntress means you have some good shots and you have good chases. High skill cap in Nurse, you can't be stopped. So I think that's the reason that we just don't see Huntresses as often, because you have to dedicate a ton of time to being good with Huntress, and it just doesn't give you the same value as Nurse does. And it's just unfortunate. I wish there was a higher curve to Huntress to hit. It just, I don't know. I've never seen it. I've seen good Huntresses. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just that compare 2,000 hour Nurse to 2,000 hour Huntress. The Nurse is going to outperform every single time. And that's just the way the kit works.
But I mean, at the same time, though, the reason why I'm saying Huntress over Nurse is because maybe you want to save Nurse for a different comp team. Like maybe PGS, you don't need to use it. Maybe Huntress would be the one. I know I'm not saying risk it. I'm just saying I don't know. To me it seems like a potential waste if you're going to go up against other good squads. I would be thinking, yes, if I'm good at Huntress and I'm feeling confident, it's not really that big of a risk, honestly. I mean, she is just as good, if not better, than Freddy in a lot of ways. So, I mean, if you're really competent as a Huntress, why not bring Huntress? I mean, we brought a Hag. Hag is risky. You could. There's a lot of counterplay to Hag, and we saw him get a 4K on Gothorgy, doing a nice 4K. So, I don't know. I have mixed opinions, and I'm getting word from the back end booth, which is just people at home on their phones, saying that that Gothorgy is currently having some issues with the lobby. So we're going to sit on these clips for a little bit, and we'll be back into the game in a moment with trial number 4. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We not really much we can do about
lobby issues.
I know.
Imagine
all
Dead
night
by Daylight.
Yeah, all night with the lobby issues. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. That's all. Not much we can do about it other than wait it out until they get back in, and that's really all there is to it. Anyway,
unfortunate.
I actually need to go to the Poggy room for a moment and do a Poggy thing. So, Rue, if you could just keep the audience entertained for a brief moment, I apologize. I'll be back in a second.
Oh, you're good. All right, I'm gonna sing them the song of my people. Oh man. So let's see. They had, Gothorgy had Franklin's demise in this game, right? I just now remembered that. Right, they had Franklin's demise, and Object of Depression had a flashlight, so that was actually pretty great. I wonder if Gothorgy made that decision last second when they saw the lobby pregame. I cannot say that I have. I have definitely switched to Franklin's when I saw that someone in the lobby brought a flashlight as a Hag. I have definitely done that on more than one occasion. So if that was the case, props. 100% understand. This was, and let's see, again, Pop, I'm kind of surprised that you would bring Pop on Hag, but again, I personally just don't ever use it because survivors are popping my traps so often. I just want to get hits. I never have time to pay attention to the gens. So I think they got 2 or 3 kicks out of Pop. So it wasn't a wasted perk by any means. I have never been able to use it personally, so good on them for finding time to make use of it. Never had that happen before. And it looks like we are readying up in Soviet Russia. Segue to you.
Was that this? Okay. Thank you, Rue. All right, folks, we're looking at how the survivors side earns their points, and let's look at all their objective score points, counting down from 5 generators. 5 and 4 are worth 1 point each. 3 and 2 gens are worth 2 points each, and 1 is worth 3 points. 1 escape is worth 1 point. 2 escapes is worth 2 points. 3rd escape is worth 4 points, and the 4th escape a total of 5 points. Every 16,000 scored is worth 1 point. First to hatch also gets 1 point. Survivor penalties: bringing banned or limited items, perks, or add-ons is minus 10 points. Changing build after reset is also minus 10 points. And starting with the wrong skin or avatar or a non-listed roster player is minus 5 points as well. All right, folks, we're going to be looking at how the survivors side. Okay, everybody, we're back here again with Week 5 matchups. We are watching Object of Depression versus Pretty Good Squad. This is Vigo Squirt. Hope you're enjoying the show. We're about to get into the final game of today's matchup. And I don't know what the chat's predicting. I have no idea. It's the show-off said, I don't know about that, Poggy. I don't know what you're talking about. I must have missed that conversation. So we're going to spectate. Let's see. This is the wrong map. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
That's not good.
Oh,
That's not good. Oh.
That's a nurse. I called it. Called it.
You did call it. To be fair, you did call that. That is another penalty. And I'm already getting word, Pretty Good Fang, enforcing the map penalty. That's another 5 points. Oh, God. I'm so sorry, guys. Ooh. That's just how it goes, man. Object of Depression taking another 5-point penalty with the wrong map. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Oh, I feel so bad. Oh.
There's so much oof going on right now. All right, look. We're going to go ahead and just roll clips for a minute because I feel bad, and I just want to look at some hag clips. So, I'm going to say this, though. The score goes down 41-55. It's still recoverable. The real Zappies could still bring this back. It's not the end of the world, but it does mean that he's going to have his work cut out for him in this last game. And now PGS also knows they're going up against a nurse. However, worth noting, they cannot change their builds, and neither can the killer. Unless it was a banned killer, which they would have to switch killers and they could have non-viable perks and redo their perk squad. But because it's the nurse, and that's okay, you know, they're going to have to bring the same perks. So everybody brings same perks, same items. That's the rule for the reset. But now they know to prepare that they're getting a nurse, which kind of takes away that element of surprise that the real Zappies might have had going into that last game. It's 10 points for wrong map. Fang, can you confirm if you're watching this right now? If it's 10 points for wrong map. I don't have the rules in front of me. I don't have the rules in front of me, and Sam's not here.
Last time I remember it was. Last time I remember it was 10 points, but I can double check.
Yeah, if somebody could check, I'm talking to the production chat right now to try and sort it out because I don't remember the numbers on that, unfortunately, and I don't have it in front of me. I should get it like all printed out on like a nice little notebook and just sit here, open it up, look like, put my glasses on the edge of my nose.
Match the 10-point reduction and restart. Yeah. 23A.
All right. So that is a 15-point total reduction in tonight's game. Brizzo with the wrong cosmetic, Real Zappies with the wrong map. That is unfortunate. Oof. Now that could potentially be unrecoverable. You need a 4K to really pull that out, and you need to do it at like 3 or 2 gens left. I don't see any other way. I don't see any other way.
You can do it, and I've seen Zappies play an absolutely cracked nurse. So it's it is completely within the realm of possibility.
It is. It's definitely in the realm of possibility, but I just don't know, man. I don't know. I'm nervous for him, actually. I hope he's not feeling too much pressure, man. We're here for you, the real Zappies. We love you, and we hope you pull it through. Keep your head together. You got this, man. Pretty good squad. Do your best, but the real Zappies, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for the underdog in this one, because now I just feel bad for the wrong map choice. That kind of sucks, you know? That kind of sucks.
That's a bummer. That is a bummer.
You got my support, bro.
Ooh.
You're a Dumbo. No, it's just sometimes stuff happens. You pressure at the moment. It's very easy to make those mistakes, but the reason, of course, for the enforced penalties is for a variety of reasons, but you know, it can be exploited, things like that.
I can tell you exactly how it happened, too. They were having lobby issues. They probably had to reset the lobby, and they had the settings prior, and they just forgot to reset them.
No, I don't think so. We didn't actually reset the lobby. We just lost one player from the lobby. It was Gothergy having trouble. He was back in a minute. So whatever the reason was, things happen, really is what it is. They literally got robbed from their whole survivor points. Well, not in its entirety. You're not completely wrong, Nightlight. It's a good amount that they lost, for sure. I think they had, like, how many points was it in game number 2, or 3, the survivors? What was it? Let me go look again. So game
trial 3 was
trial 3. Sorry,
what was it?
Oh yeah,
was
you're right.
10 points for survivors.
I thought I had that backwards in my head for some reason. You're right. They did get robbed of literally all 10 of their points. That's ooh. When you put it that way, it really puts it in perspective. That's
tough.
That's like a whole nother way of looking at it. But they are readying up again, and I guess we can just talk to the chat from where are you? Jesus. Okay, there he is. Always with the root guard disappearing.
Also, we had a redeem actually earlier for a high five that we never did.
Do we have to? I don't want to touch you again. This is the time of COVID. I don't want to be doing high fives with. All right, fine. 3, 2, 1.
All right, guys. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna
cancel
count.
Poggy 2.0.
I'm gonna count to 3. I'm gonna count down from 3. On 0, I want you to hit the edge of your TV. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Jesus Christ. The delay can't be that bad. Give me a break. We have real-time conversation going on here. Jeez. All right.
Bad.
Shh. On the count of 0, and he's like, when was 0? 10 seconds ago? I don't know what's going on. No pressure.
The logos.
Seriously.
Okay, the logos at the top are correct. Someone was saying the logos at the top aren't correct. They're correct. That's object depression. That's right.
When we're watching the playback, it can look incorrect because what you're seeing is the recorded game underneath it. So I take off the actual logos that are supposed to be there, just so it doesn't have this weird overlay effect. Otherwise, it's like the wrong logo overlaid over the right logo, and it just looks funny. Anyway, Nurse game, correct map. We're in the game now. We're going, and let's see what the real Zappies has in store for us. He is going to have his work cut out for him. He can still do it. It's possible. The score difference is just about 19 points. You have a possible total points of 31, so it is feasible, but my goodness, is it going to be difficult? But wow, he gets an early find on Gothergy. Gothergy going to take an early hit. This is exactly what this nurse wants right now. Real Zappy's probably feeling really confident having found him out here, and almost gets it down. A dead hard, though, from Gothergy. Going to save him and allow him to get a little extra distance, as the nurse is going to have to wait for her recharge. Is now going to teleport again. Tries to get a 1 blink. Goes for the 2 blink. Gets the down on Gothergy. An early down, and the survivors just now starting on their first generator. So that is perfect. This is a perfect start for the real Zappies. Now he just needs to hold on to this. He needs to hold on to this setup and maintain this pressure. He gets that very top of the hill hook, which is fantastic. Easy vision for the nurse, easy to get back up there. And ooh, almost, wow, he does get the hit. I didn't think he was going to land that one. I thought he was going into fatigue, but just at the last second gets it. Does a whiff on the TNL loop window, and might actually lose Ninetales if he's not careful. Ninetales is going to go for a nice turnaround, but the real Zappy's not falling for it. Gothergy getting unhooked as well as the down happens, and he's trying to stop the generator from getting down. Is she going to finish it in her face? No, the Goth's Princess gets off the generator with 5 seconds left on Pop Goes the Weasel. He is going to flick the generator, get it regressing, get the hook on Ninetales. He is playing this absolutely perfectly right now. He just needs to keep this pressure going. He's doing phenomenal. Keep it moving. The survivors just finished healing, which, to be honest, as a killer, that's what you want to see. You want them wasting their time healing, not wasting their time doing gens. Or at least, I guess, wasting your time doing gens, because that would be horrible for you. But 5 gens remaining with 2 hooks. A good start for the real Zappies, promising. And now we see Pretty Good Fang trying to body block for Gothergy. Gothergy turning around, going the other way. The nurse almost able to get the hit on him, but he does another dead hard out of the way. And I think that almost was a hit, but the dead hard saved him once again. And Gothergy is getting some extra distance, working his way to the TNL loop in the back, behind these little, like, whatever these are. I don't know what these are. Spools of thread or something, cabling. And now he's at the very back in the very back corner and might actually get the down again. That's another down for Gothergy, and 1 generator completing in the process. Now, I don't know exact numbers here. I can't tell you because I can't do math on the fly like that. I am not a genius prodigy of math. But what I can tell you is that if they get enough generators done, I feel confident that the score may will out for Pretty Good Squad. That even if she gets a 4K, that enough generators could turn the score around in Pretty Good Squad's favor. But it's going to be tight, and I can't say for sure what that score would look like. So we're going to just have to wait and see, if that makes sense. Anyway, Pretty Good Fang working her way to get hit. Wow, she gets the hit. Very nice from Real Zappies. Once again, another hit. He has so much pressure. This is some expert nurse play. Now, a little bit of a failed second blink there, but at the same time, it shouldn't be too much time. He's got that fast recharge, so he's going to be able to get the down really quick on Fang. Fang not able to get to safety or prevent the down at all. A nice fourth hook for the Real Zappy's first hook for pretty good Fang. And if it were me, what I want to see now is I'm going to immediately go back for Gothorgy. I'm just going to get him down. I'm going to focus him down. I don't care. I want him out of the game.
For sure.
I don't care if it seems like toxic tunneling. Screw it. So we need to get that down. We need to get him out. Gothorgy, if I'm in his shoes, I'm thinking I need to get out of line of sight. I need to hide. I need to get healed. I need to do something to get away from this, but I think he's going to get spotted. Oh, he gets spotted healing and does go down. No. Gothorgy, my good man, that could be the end of you unless there's a DS in play. No DS. Oh, and that's going to be an early kill at 4 generators for this nurse. Absolutely phenomenal showing from the Real Zappies tonight. This dirty tunneling killer. He is cracked, yeah. Wow. And he does get the Pop Goes the Weasel as well, preventing that gen progression. He's going to check on these survivors. Again, he also still has someone else on a hook, by the way. That whole time, there's still pretty good Fang hanging out. And he's going to want to maybe let them, get away from that hook. Let him get the unhook. So you want to maximize those hook points now. That's the goal. Maximize the hook points. Now, what Pretty Good Squad could do is try to deny points by just dying. But they don't want to do that. Instead, they want to try to get gens done. They want to actually try to play it out as best they can. And we do see Ninetales taking the down on the outside. And that's going to be another hook. Once again, second hook for Ninetales. Just, oof. Pretty Good Squad is struggling right now, and this nurse is, like you said, she is cracked, my dude. Wow, Real Zappies, you got my respect. Lots of respect. And currently just on the search. Wow, did Pretty Good Fang just go down? What? Oh my god, what just happened? I didn't even get a chance to switch to her. I was like pushing the button, but it didn't switch fast enough, and then she goes down. That was so quick. 2 hooks at the same time. You got to start making decisions. Do you actually go for these unhooks? Do you just let these hooks sit as they are? I don't actually know. I don't have a good answer for you. I don't feel like they're going to get any more gens done. What do you think, Rue? Tell me, please.
Help
me out.
Whoa. They're going for it.
They both went for the kill on themselves. They're like, no, we can't. We're not going to we're going to deny the rest of these points. He already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hooks.
I think they calculated it.
They might have, but only 1 generator? I don't know. Blood points could also be the difference here. And
I
Goth's
don't
Princess.
know if Nerf got enough blood points.
But Goth's Princess, if he gets her, he could go in a chase with her, get the hatch as well. That's an extra point. I mean, there's just a lot that could turn this around. It's really close right now. And I think they made the right choice to go ahead and die on second hook. I mean, at this point, you're not getting any more gens done.
If they get that, so if they get the hatch, that's an additional point. They deny them the escape. And if they die to the entity, that's still a death. Oh, okay.
Ooh, and she does find Goth Princess. I think this might be into Goth Princess. Going to be first hook, though. 1 hook kill, and she goes down very quick.
Ooh.
That's going to be GG's, folks. And we may or may not see the hatch. I don't know where the hatch is. I don't think the Real Zappies knows where hatch is either. So, going to try to look for it to secure that extra point, but...
I think they should have looked for it before hooking her. I think that's a mistake.
Ooh, but he found it, so it doesn't matter. He does find the hatch. That is that extra hatch point right there at the end with the 1 hook, 1 kill on Goth's Princess. That could be enough. It's going to come down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen.
I think it's enough.
It's going to come down to the wire for Object of Depression here. The Real Zappies, absolutely phenomenal, cracked killer game. Dude, so much respect. Jeez. My goodness. I don't even think they have enough blood points to get enough points to really do anything. Now, the Real Zappies got 23,000. That's pretty decent. But the Survivors, on the other hand, not so much. So we'll have to wait and see how this calculates out. Rue is doing his last-minute calculations. We do see OOD pulling 1 point ahead. Rue, help me out here, man. What's the verdict? What's going to be the verdict? I guess we're going to find out in a second.
It's a tie!
Hell no. No, that's not. No.
Oh, no.
No.
What?
Are you serious? Okay, hold on a minute.
Pub Post game.
We'll be right back. What the hell, man? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Week 5 matchups with Object of Depression versus Pretty Good Squad. Now, here is what you witnessed in trial number 4, okay? You saw one generator get done. Not enough for them to pull enough points out. 0 escapes, naturally. Not even finding Hatch at the end. 3 hooks? Is that right? That's not accurate,
not
right?
correct.
No, not correct.
That is not
but
correct.
4 kills, no, also not correct. But the score is right. 50 of 50. Something went wrong in the back end. Just ignore me. And
Something went very wrong.
It's okay. Pretty Good Squad and leads, but no, convicted of murder, nobody is. That's a question mark.
No.
Question mark means that we're actually we've never had this before. So this isn't actually programmed in properly. I don't know what to do.
There were
I know
9,
what, okay.
No.
Wait. Okay, ignore how many hooks there were. That doesn't matter. We got the score right. That's what matters. Okay. The score is right.
Yes.
Okay. The post-game review is wrong. Ignore that. It was 9 hooks. Here's the thing. For a tie at the end of trial number 4, what you end up with is this. You have 2 games played from both sides, killer or survivor. They both switch sides and play an extra game. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to have to do is set up for that, and I think we're going to maybe have to take a break before we can actually do it. So, oh man, Rue, can you talk for a minute?
I was not prepared for this. Oh my word. Zappies did exactly what they had to do, which was get the 4K with as many hooks as PGS will let you get and deny as many gens as possible. And they did exactly that. Had PGS got one more gen, it would have been barely a loss. Had PGS, oh my goodness, that's so down to the wire. Holy cow. Oh my goodness, that was breathtaking. Dear goodness. Oh man. The survivors, I'm honestly surprised the survivors let it go on this long. I'm surprised they didn't, I think I would have stopped and let Gothergy die on second hook personally. Because at that point, you could have tried to, dedicate one more gen, try and get it. I guess they were trying to be safe and they didn't want to give up just yet. But they definitely, I think, made the correct play, letting both of the survivors die on hook after that, and trying to let Goth's Princess get the hash somehow. They just weren't able to find it. And then Zappy's coming on them at the last second, finally finding them, getting them down, getting first hook to progression, and it was just enough. Oh man. This is insane. We've had a lot of close games this time around, but this is insane. I did not think we would actually see a tie happen, but I'm glad we have rules in place for it, because man, I would not want to come up with something on the fly for this. Again, I called it. Zappies is a cracked nurse, and they brought their A game tonight. Fantastic job on their part. Just constantly harassing the survivors the entire time. Really, really, really well done. I don't even know if there's that much I can comment on or talk about. They just went absolutely ham on the survivors. Also, I think they got if I'm being sarcastic, I could say, well, they got very little use out of Rancor. Let's face it, only 1 gen popped. Rancor didn't really get that much use. You only saw survivors once. Come on, I'm kidding. That's obviously a joke. You can't always assume that you're going to hold survivors to 4 gens. That's just absurd. Phenomenal job. They never even got a chance to really reset. They got Gothergy unhooked, and Gothergy was trying to, self-medicate over there in the corner. They didn't have any of it. Like right here. They immediately found them and downed them, and that was death hook. They knew that they didn't have decisive because they didn't decisive the first time. Wow. Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Okay, look. Where are you? God damn it. All right, so here's the deal. Here's what happens in the event of a tie. I said a little bit of what happens. It took me a minute to get it set up. I made a duplicate of the score sheet that we have. I sent it to you in production chat, Rue. We are going to go into overtime for this team. It's 2 games, not 4, just 2. And they can use only the killers that both teams had already previously brought. So they can bring different builds, but they cannot bring different killers. They have to play the same killers they already played tonight. But they get to
that count
make
against
that
their
choice.
amount? Does that count against the killers they've used in the league so far?
No.
So like,
No.
so like tonight, Zappies took Nurse.
The answer is no. The answer to your dilemma is no.
Cool. Okay, cool. So
Learn to
it's
take
not gonna
no for
count
an
against
answer.
it. Like, man, look at this. You've got Object of Depression. Oh, I can either play Nurse or Spirits tonight. Which OP killer am I gonna bring to this next match? And for the exact opposite, for PGS, they're like, Nurse or Hag? Which one do I want to slaughter with? Can you imagine? This is like the best scenario for them. They've got some of the best killers to choose from in the game to bring in this tiebreaker. What do you think it's going to be? Do you think Zappy's going to bring Spirit, or do you think it's going to be a Nurse?
I can't even believe we're going into overtime right now. Like, I'm still
Right?
feeling about that. I don't even know the answer to that question. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I really couldn't.
Oh.
I mean, if it's me, the best performing killer tonight for both of them, I think, was Hag on PGS and Nurse for OOD. So for me, if I'm being cautious, I'm bringing the best performer for the night. Even if it's risky bringing a Hag, possibly. Now, somebody would disagree with me that Hag is actually really powerful and all that. And yeah, okay, she is. But she's counterable, and Nurse not as much. But at the same time, we saw that first Nurse struggle a little bit. She got some hooks. I'm not hating on Volpixia, guys. Don't freak out, okay? I'm not hating. She did really good, okay? I'm just saying that she did struggle to really get enough points to bring it ahead. And so I'm stating it as it is, okay? Just don't at me.
That was their first match. Like, that was their first trial in the league.
Yeah.
Maybe second time's a charm. Maybe they were like, okay, I want to retry. I want to try this again. They come in, go ham with Nurse.
That's the thing.
Is
you just
it
don't
a
know
battle
for sure.
of the nurses? Battle of
And
the
by
nurses?
the way, home team kills first, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, let me read that again. Is that in the production chat?
Yes.
Yeah. Sam, if you're here, you can talk, because I have no idea if we did something wrong, but you're saying a lot of words, and I don't have time to read them all. So I just want to make sure we got this right. Rue, are we doing this right? Are we doing this correctly?
Right?
We have 2 games.
Yes.
Home team kills
2
first.
trials. Home team
They
kills
bring
first.
only the killers they
Away
had.
team kills first. Yes.
Best out of those 2. Okay. And it starts from 0 again. Okay.
Yes.
All right. There you go.
Sure.
That's what we're doing. Sure.
I mean, it's the same either way. It's like they're tied, so you might as well start at 0.
Yeah. I don't know
Oh, man.
about that. Okay, I think we're just about set up and ready to go. It takes me a little bit of a minute to set. This is something I would normally do before the game, but because we had this kind of long situation, we're getting set up. Let me check on the teams if they're ready. What, Sam?
Can I call you out live?
Call me out live for what? What did I do? My
We talked about this, and you're like, I'll just make a copy live. I was like, Poggy, we need overtime built into the scorecard. And you're like, hey, it's not a big deal.
But it just took. I didn't ever expect it, first of all, but it didn't take me that long. We're done. We're ready to go. So I mean, shut up, Sam. Get the hell out of here. What are you even doing here? All right. So we're ready. We're just waiting on the teams. I think they're going with what they have. If I had to guess, I think Real Zappies is going, so he's going to be bringing Nurse probably. No, wait. Did he bring Nurse last game? Yeah. Wait, Nurse?
Yeah, he brought Nurse.
Okay, Nurse.
With that Nurse gameplay, I would bring it. I'd run it back. I'd go for it. I might even change up my build and bring Noed. Take a page from Volpixia's book.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, no gens got done against him, really, so Noed would have done basically nothing.
I mean, it's either a dead perk, in which case, phenomenal job, or it's a clutch perk, in which case, phenomenal job.
But you can get more use out of something like Devour Hope with that. I mean, if you're bringing a perk that's supposed to be a clutch perk, I mean, why not bring one that can help you while you're getting hooks, which is something like Devour Hope. better than Noed, in my opinion.
Because it's PGS and they cleanse totems.
Okay, whatever. You're just wrong, objectively, all right? There is no place, there's no world in which you are correct. Sam, if you're still listening, you can go ahead and let the teams know we are ready, so we don't have to wait any longer, and we are good to go.
Sam, if you're still here, can you go ahead and ban Poggy, please? Or at least cancel him?
Shut up! All right, look, guys.
Hashtag
Reading the chat a little bit. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for the views, for the watching us, and also, by the way, for the subs today. Thank you so much. We got a lot of subs today. 2 minutes ago from Little Rugard, whoever that is. Pretty Good Fang sharing some bits. Little Rugard again. Beans on Legion for subscribe at 1 month. Appreciate that, brother. And thank you. Thank you for all the support tonight. We really, really appreciate it, and we're really grateful, and we hope to continue doing this show for you in the future. And right now, we are just waiting on the teams. I think they're just getting ready. They're checking on their builds and such. Yeah, well, we can just push the game back a little bit. And it doesn't really take me that long to set up between games. I just like to breathe and like get a snack or something. I'll just have to skip my snack this time. No Poggy snacks today. Not to be confused with Scooby snacks, which are less delicious than Poggy. Shut up, Brew. Why are you here?
I don't know. I ask myself that every day.
Safi View says, I assume it's a double nurse. That's not a bad assumption. I mean, but I think Gothergy might be thinking he wants to bring his hag again. I don't know either. Tough call. That's a tough call for me because both. I mean, I could go on all day, like I said, about how much I love hag. I'm gonna start eating now because I won't have time between games.
Well, let's put it this way. They don't have to decide immediately. They get to see what Object of Depression brings first, which I can almost guarantee you after that last match, they're going to be like, hey, Zappies, we know you just outperformed for us. Can you do it one more time? We'll take you for steak after this. You know, something. So you don't have to make a decision for PGS right now with who you want to bring just yet. But my money's that they're going to run back Nurse here. My guess is that Object of Depression is going to bring Zappies on Nurse. And I guess it depends on how well they hold up against Zappies. Maybe they're like, okay, we got him down. We know his strats or something. I don't know. Psycho Manus Ruko is a snack. You are absolutely right, Psycho. I'm glad you get it. Hashtag cancel Poggy. Oh, man. But seriously, like, this game has been so fun to watch. I've been breathless. Just absolutely breathless. And then, yeah, from heartbreak to just, you know, existential crisis as you watch the score tick up and they come out with a tie at the end. Just, I love it. I'm loving the games tonight. What do you think? Do you think so here's the question. It's not so much, I think it's a given you run Zappies back at Nurse because of how well they did. And again, it's a free Nurse game. Who's going to sneeze at a free Nurse game? But do you think they're going to change the build up a bit? I would personally change up the build possibly just to switch things up.
You're asking me like I play Nurse. Like I don't, I'm not a Nurse main. I have no idea. I can just give my opinion on what I see. Main. Yeah, right. Need to never think that. You know I hate playing Nurse. I get seasick every time she does the fatigue. I hate it.
And that's fair. The fatigue is definitely a downside. Hey, remember when you could fatigue cancel and they fixed it after 4 years?
No. How about this? The chat thinks I'm eating Pringles, but these are the totally safe television brand known as Sprongles. So you're wrong.
Sprongles? That sounds fun.
No, I'm just, like I said, we're going like... After this game, there's going to be 2 games. Like after this lobby, there's going to be 2 games, and then that's going to be what, 10, maybe 20 minutes per game. Then we have another matchup at 10 p.m. So I ain't going to have time to have my usual between match breakfast. So I'm kind of like whatever I got available, and I got to do it now. And I guess I figured we could do some ASMR while we wait for the game to start up. They're all rated up. The only one we're waiting for is the real Zappies, who's probably contemplating his build, just like Rue was talking about. Thinking, do I really want to bring all the same stuff? Or should I bring something else? I don't know. Maybe Devour Hope build is what we're going to see. I hope so, because I want to be proven right. And I want to prove you wrong that Noed is trash compared to Devour Hope.
Poggy, did you just say ASMR on Vigo's court?
Is that a bad thing? Did I do something wrong? Is
No,
that,
I was
allowed?
trying to get into the ASMR mood.
Imposter Pringles.
Imposter Pringles. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Ah. Wait, so Freaky JT said you can still fatigue cancel. I thought they got rid of fatigue cancel in the recent update. Did they bring it back?
I don't know.
I think we've done a pretty good job so far.
I didn't even know that existed until 2 weeks ago. Maybe 3. I had no idea. I don't play nurse, guys. Like, what do you want me to do?
Also, guy, for the people asking, yes, it is against league rules to do fatigue cancel. It's considered an exploit. I thought they fixed it out of the game because it's been in the game since I think the beginning of Nurse. I think it's always
what
been
I
there.
heard that
also,
is true.
We've
but
had
again, I don't know.
We've had 2 actual high fives redeemed after this one. We had one at the start of last match. I forgot about it. So we got to do a back-to-back high five.
How about you high five me this time? That way there's no delay. You count off.
I like that. 3.
You count off.
2, 1, go.
That was way more in sync. Way more in sync.
But I don't know where it lands. So I'm just gonna okay. One more. We gotta get
that
this
counts
right.
as 2. That counts as 2.
No, it doesn't.
It does because
Cancel
it was
Poggy.
in sync.
Hashtag cancel Poggy. He does not want to do your redeemables. I'm gonna get muted. Oh man.
You know another thing?
But as chat was saying, what?
Like, my voice hasn't had a chance to rest. I need some, like, lemon tea or something now. You guys are putting me through my paces today. PGS and OOD, I really would hope they readied up soon. I don't know what's taking so long on the killer end. Maybe he's a little bit nervous, hesitant, feeling the pressure of a tiebreaker game, perhaps.
Mood. I mean, if you felt the pressure just to try and come back, I can't, like, what? Okay, which pressure is worse? Trying to eke out a league against an even score or trying to make a 19-point deficit? You tell me, Poggy, which one is more pressure?
I wasn't listening because I don't like you right now.
Wow. I
just
think
spoke
Pogger's
to
over, everybody.
I just spoke to the real Zappies, your killer main for the day, who's going to be killing in this first game. He is panicking about his perks, and the Survivor Squad is ready. They are readied up, and he's like, I don't know about these perks. Like, I don't blame him at all. They've already seen his other build, and now he's thinking, what can I do to surprise him, to shock him, to confuse him, maybe even to scare them a little. I don't know what I'm doing as Nurse. I'm bringing Devour Hope no matter what. I'm thinking that's optimal. Something with Devour Hope in play. Whether that be including something like Undying to protect it, perhaps Haunted Ground. That's my favorite combo, is Undying, Haunted Ground, Devour Hope. Doesn't always work, but usually you get value out of something. It's risky, but it's not super high risk compared to how it used to be, since you always get that 1 protection on Devour Hope. But, you know, let's find out. Because guess what, guys? They are loading in now. We're going to jump into another set of rules videos so I can rest my voice for a few seconds. Jesus Christ. Hello, everyone. We're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts. Okay, everybody, we're here with Week 5 matchups. Object of Depression versus Pretty Good Squad. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in tiebreaker mode. This is trial number 5. I don't even have a button for trial number 5. That's how bad this is. We are not prepared at all. But we're in game, so we are prepared for that. I don't know what the hell that is in the top right corner. Let's get rid of whatever that is, because that shouldn't be there. Guys, we're looking at a first ever in Vigo's court history, a literal first, where we are seeing a tiebreaker. 58 points to 58 points in the first matchup with these two, and now they are forced to play 2 additional games. Now, if you missed it, the rules for that are they can only bring the killers they previously brought. Home team kills first, away team kills second, and they only do 2 games. The best out of 2 wins. Now, the other thing about that is they can bring whatever perks they want. They don't have to keep the same builds, so that is the caveat to that. Now, we do see right now the nurse is struggling a little bit to find the survivors, but he did have that trouble last time, and then suddenly he wasn't, and then suddenly there was a Fang in the way, and now this is going to be where the real Zappies takes control and starts the action. Yeah, getting that Fang down very quickly, and then Infectious Fright. Ooh. Oh, a change of pace for this one, bringing a tracking perk, but then teleporting into the ground, canceling the teleport, deciding instead to go down, get the Fang on the hook. Gonna take his points now and be on his merry. And the survivors have not yet started gens. They haven't really started gens yet. I mean, you could say this is technically starting a gen, but I mean, really? And of course, now it's going to be back to 0 with that Pop Goes the Weasel, so it's gone now. And Corrupt Intervention also in play. So this is exactly what you want. This hook is within the uncorrupted area, which means that she can pressure this area and pressure the hook at the same time. And that's what you want to be doing, regardless of what killer you are, if you have Corrupt Intervention. However, we do see Gauss Princess getting the unhook on pretty good Fang, and if we can switch a little faster, thank you. Nurse kind of looking around, not sure where she's going to go, deciding to go back to the jungle gyms, and I think... Yeah, okay, so going to find Gauss Princess out here, going to go for the Gauss Princess chase. Should be pretty quick. He's been getting some pretty quick chases on these survivors. And yeah, he gets the hit immediately, waits for the recovery charge, and then may actually get a 1-hit teleport, but no, she turns around, goes the other way, but then does ultimately go down. Almost got to the pallet. That was very, very close. My goodness. I don't know what to say about this one. I'm concerned for these survivors. That's for sure. This nurse is definitely very strong. One of the strongest nurses I think we've seen in the league. Even getting another hit on Gothorgy. May actually get a down on Gothorgy. Played it right. He does get up to him. Almost gets it, but the Dead Heart's going to save him once again. And that Dead Heart is exactly what he needed in that moment, but will it be enough? Gauss Princess needs to get off the hook now. That's the unhook right there from a Deliverance. She Deliverance off the hook, and we also saw one generator complete, but then Gothorgy mind games himself into the back of the jungle gym and goes down right in front of the killer. Didn't even need to teleport to get him. And is going to now flick the gen, get the hook. Wow. So, for some reason, and I don't know the reason, my hook counter is not showing on the screen. But it's not the end of the world. I'm not that worried about it. We're going to try to get it up now again, see if I can get it showing. And really quick, let's also switch screens while we're doing that. I apologize, folks, for the technical issues. All right, that's so one
Nurse
of
just got
them.
the pop on that gen.
Yes.
That gen was almost finished, too, so that's a really good pop for them, because I think they want to try and maintain this 3-gen. Oh my gosh, that hook's in the middle of her 3-gen, too. Just, oh, that's so gross. I say 3-gen despite the fact that they've been really good at denying a lot of gen pressure. Ooh. Checking out the top floor.
Keep it going. You're doing great. You're helping me do what I need to do over here to fix this. Feel free.
All right.
Go right along.
I went from judge to counselor. All right, so we see here, looks like they are in chase with the ace, that being Ninetales, and it looks like they got caught out a little bit, shortening the blink and getting the first hit on Ninetales. I do believe they got Gothorgy off hook, though, and I imagine they're going back to that jet, and they get Ninetales down. Look at him go. Nurse not wasting any time, just constantly chaining the hits and downs, and we see the gen pop in the distance, so they did go back to that gen. So that side is no longer a 3-gen for them anymore. Unfortunate, as Ninetales gets their first hook. But they are 3 more gens left. This is 1 gen further along than they had last time. So they might be adjusting a little bit to Zappy's playstyle a little bit. Or Zappies might have expended a lot of... Oh, man, look at that hit. They got Goth's Princess down. They didn't reset Goth's Princess. Oh, no, that's so bad for them. Oh, they're choosing not to go after the Infectious Fright. Interesting. They might just be trying to go for... Okay, yeah, they're probably just going to go for hooks instead of pressure. Hoping
I think
not
that's
have
the
a
wise
repeat of
decision.
last time. Yeah.
Nothing I'm doing here
to.
with this hook counter is working, so you guys just have to deal with the lack of a hook counter. You have one technically on the screen, so just live with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we do...
The one benefit of the UI.
Right, we do have that at least. And wow, this killer is getting some good plays, man. That is already 5 hooks, I believe. Yeah, and Goth's Princess now taking the unhook. And pretty good Fang might actually be down here again. Will be on second hook. She takes the hit. Works her way up to the top of the coal tower. Waits a moment. Doesn't want to go right away, but then she just walks up to her and smacks her. Oh, absolutely phenomenal. She was waiting for her to teleport upstairs. But oh, and now she gets the basement hook. Oh, no. The real Zappies coming out strong in this first game. Not letting up that pressure. However... the survivors pressuring their own with 2 gens done, 3 survivors fully healed. But again, no generators being worked on right now. And Fang in a basement, that's going to spell trouble for sure.
They are really struggling against Zappies tonight.
They really are. And if I'm looking at this carefully, all I can really see is this nurse has every advantage right now. She is ahead on every turn. The only hope now is that Goth's Princess is able to keep the aggro, and she does. She takes the hit. Goth's Princess is going to take the hit, and then they might be able to get pretty good Fang out of the basement. And they do. They get her unhooked, and we almost see Goth's Princess going down. A little bit more lunge would have done it, but it wasn't quite enough. But just one more mistake, and that's going to be a down for her. Oh, but a nice play. A nice play from Goth's Princess to avoid that prediction from the killer. But ultimately, she does go down, and there's not much you're going to really be able to do about it. The nurse will catch you eventually if she knows what she's doing. And we already know the real Zappies is cracked. So that is a 3rd hook for Goth's Princess. A death at 3 gens. Exactly what you want as killer. Exactly what we saw, I think, in his first game as well. And these survivors are struggling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, while we're kind of waiting for this to progress a little more, can I just say, when I looked at the score in the opening, the stats of these teams, you saw how close they were. I mean, is this really a surprise? Is this really a surprise that we're doing this right now? That we're in overtime.
That's a fantastic point. They were dead even.
That's true. And Gothology now going to be taking a hit, and let's see what the next play is. Gothology will be on second hook if he goes down. A nice play again with a dead hard from Gothology, who is going to not use that pallet, not going to go anywhere near a pallet, instead working towards a window, which isn't a bad play, but I think the nurse retargeted, quite possibly. Let's see if we can find him. No, she just got a little bit slowed down. That's all it was. So she is actually still focusing on Gothology. Gothology is going to work his way around the tree, but is going to go down. That little tree mine game not going to do a whole lot for you, Goth, and going to leave him slugged instead. Going to go in for the pretty good Fang, who I believe was over here. Or maybe that was an ace. I'm not 100% sure. Hard to tell. And decides to give up on that track and instead go for the hook, but 2 generators remaining as a generator pops. Oh, man. These guys are just so even-keeled. I don't know what to say. They're just so even-keeled. Nobody's making, like, major super big errors that I can be like, oh, that was a horrible play. That's why they're losing. You know, like, it's just really evenly matched gameplay. That's really all it is. Now, yeah, there have been mistakes, but it's nothing, like, super egregious, like, oh, they totally screwed up that loop, or, oh, the nurse, like, totally messed up that blink. Now, that was, I mean, a little bit of a mess up there, but, I mean, it wasn't like she teleported off to Timbuktu accidentally or something and, like, left the survivor way behind. We haven't seen that. He's been just blink after blink after blink getting hits. The survivor's just doing gens, doing loops, doing their best to stay out of the hits, but it's not much you can really do against the nurse.
I will say, I think that PGS did make some adjustments. Because there's obviously some adjustments. You rise to the occasion when you face a kill that's tougher. You play safer. You make safer calls. You're like, hey, give that person some space. We know that they can chain hit really, really well. We want to spread this nurse out as much as possible. So you know that their game plan changed. Oh, they died on hook. Uh-oh.
Yeah, he let go. I don't know if he let go on purpose. I think it might have been deliberate. I'm not 100% sure about that one. I think it might have learned their lesson from last time because they know they're going to get unhooking it. Instead, like you said, maybe they're going for just try to get extra generators. But Ninetales going to take a hit now. The Obsession, by the way, who has been hooked one time this game. And now is, oh, that was very close, but another Dead Hard. And now you can only have 2 of each perk in this league. So we know he is the only one with Dead Hard. Pretty Good Fang does not have Dead Hard. That is going to be a down now on Ninetales with a second hook. And, ooh, I think he just spotted Pretty Good Fang as well, so that's going to be a double down. He's going to be going for the 4-man slug, going for that down on Pretty Good Fang. It's only a matter of time before he catches her, I'm pretty sure. There's not much that can be done here. The only saving grace would be if there is an Unbreakable, and I don't think we see that. There is no, like, yellow on that bar. So, no Unbreakable. He is stuck on the ground. Pretty Good Fang going to be next on third hook. And, ooh, got a little lost, a little turned around. Pretty Good Fang doing some jukes. But he does ultimately find her, and wow, she took a secret Styptic agent. She goes behind the wall and is like, watch this, and then comes back around with a Styptic.
Oh, man.
Fang with her deviousness plays, but she does ultimately go down. The real Zappies has control and does not relinquish it whatsoever. A strong showing from the home team tonight. Object of Depression, phenomenal plays all around. And then as we're seeing in the matchup here, Pretty Good Squad's going to have their work cut out for them in the second game, and that'll be the last game. Can you imagine if they tie again?
Oh, please, no. Stop it. I don't want to hear it.
Stop speaking words. I think if they do, we might just have to reschedule the next game.
Right?
I mean, what would we do in that situation?
They actually improved upon their previous game.
If it ties again, it's just a tie.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair. Half a win for each.
They improved on their game since last one because they got more hooks this trial than the previous one they played Nursen. So they actually did better technically.
I think I would agree with you on that one.
Imagine doing better than the previous trial. Good night.
Right? Yeah. But the survivors did better too. I think they got a little bit of a better score.
Yeah,
granted,
they did.
Still not great, not an escape, but they didn't do horrendously. I mean, they did decent. I'll give it to them. Nurse is tough. She's tough. So I mean, you do what you got to do. You do what you can do, and on a map this small too, even tougher, I think, because it's a pretty small map, and that gives Nurse a little bit of an edge to be able to get around and make stuff happen. Now, looking at the build, we do see Infectious Fright, Pop goes the Weasel, Corrupt Intervention, and Barbecue and Chili, which is something we hadn't really seen before, because you need those extra blood points. I'm just kidding. It's for tracking, obviously. So you get that tracking of the survivors once you get the hooks, and she did use it quite effectively. And that is a thumbs up from Little Rugard, so we're going to be going into the post-game review in just a second. But really quick, I just to make sure this is all set up to go. One more check. Okay, I think we're good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You were watching Week 5 matchups. Object of Depression, versus Pretty Good Squad. And this was trial number 1, technically trial number 5, but it says trial number 4. I'm gonna have to work on this for ties. We saw one generator getting done with 0 escape. That's not right. What did you do, Rue? Stop. What did you do? I'm blaming Rue on this one.
What did I do? That's looking at the original one. That's looking at trial 4 because it was 1 gen. It was 8 hooks. That is correct. This time around, it was 3 gen, 10 hooks.
There it is. Look at me. I'm a genius. Okay. 10 hooks and a 4K. Phenomenal job by the Nurse as we see Object of Depression 25-6 in favor of Object, with, of course, Object of Depression leading into trial number 2. Rue, please take us through some of these highlights. Please.
Well, I can say that I hope that I never see Zappies in pubs ever. Dear goodness, that is a terrifying Nurse. I saw them, I think 2 weeks ago, they were doing a stream where I think they were doing a challenge to get from rank 20 to rank 1, and I think they were only playing Nurse. And dear goodness, does it show. My word, phenomenal play. And again, the survivors did a phenomenal job adjusting to the play. Because you know that they're going to take Nurse again. They did so well on Nurse the first time. Why would you not try and run that back? And if I remember correctly, if it's, 25-6, so it was still a 19-point lead coming out of that trial. So essentially very similar to Trial 4. So phenomenal job, but they adapted. They played safer. And I think they realized when to, hey, we're not going to be getting, we're probably not going to get out of this trial. We're going to try and, let them whittle down our resources and hope to get a couple gens done, letting Gothorgy die on hook and everything. I think they came to accept how it was going and just tried to, like you said, go for the point denial, not try and, struggle against the tide. However, they did get 2 more gens done despite all the pressure, so they did better. It's just like you said, Nurse is so tough to go against because they just completely negate the mechanic of chasing. That was the point, was Nurse came around in a time where there were infinites everywhere, and it was the first killer that came out that could deal with infinites. It just happened to be, as they slowly try to remove infinites from the game, Nurse is still cracked. So, hashtag please don't nerf Nurse. I'm okay with people being good at it. I promise. It's fine. I don't think I can really, I like Infectious Fright on Nurse. I know that some people say, it's kind of a waste, and I don't think they got too much. In the first down, they got on Fang, they saw Gothorgy scream at the gen, but missing the blink and not continuing after it. They could have got some value here and there, but if anything, it's just information saying, hey, there's no one around me. I know that whenever I hook them, I'm going to see them far away on barbecue. It's a good knowledge perk. Even if you don't get to chase someone off of it, it's kind of like Surge. Surge is a mediocre gen regression perk. However, it does substitute as a decent information perk. It says, hey, if it doesn't go off, there's no gens around you being worked on, so you know that you need to concentrate on other gens outside the area. So, just really, really good job. They had really good tracking. I think there was 2 chases where they got led a little bit long. And, Dead Hard is usually kind of just a free get out of jail, or at least, get out of blink jail card for the survivors at least one time. But once those Dead Hards were gone, it was lights out. Also, was that distortion on Gothorgy? I think that was distortion.
Yes, I saw it while we were in game. I don't announce the perks if they're that kind of perk.
Okay.
I like to keep that secret just in case. I don't think anybody's ever going to say anything, but they could. You never know. So we just like to keep it secret.
Interesting.
That's why we have a perk cover. But yeah, Detective's Hunch, I think, was also in play. Did I see a Detective Hunches in the post game? I'm not sure. But I know we saw the other one that you're talking about, the distortion play, which was...
So, what I will say...
Didn't really get much value.
No, I think... You know why I think they were doing that? Is because if they know that you're going to bring Nurse, they might want to try and track all 4 your perks. It's also going under the assumption that, hey, maybe we're going to get out, but it would be, what?
I got to fix this because the score is wrong. For some reason, it said 37. I don't know why. It should have said 25. That's not right. Oh, I know why.
It says 25 right now.
I fixed it. That's why.
Oh,
I fixed it. We're good.
Okay.
Everything's fine. Don't panic.
So where was I? Okay, so if you know they're going to take Nurse, now this is also going to under the assumption that you're not going to get 4K'd immediately, which they did make some adjustments to the play of Nurse. They just, still weren't able to get all the gens done. They might have been going for a dual fold of, well, they took barbecue, maybe they'll take barbecue, and, maybe they can hide Gothorgy on a gen and get 1 or 2 gens done without them realizing it. But in addition, possibly... it might have just been a call to be like, hey, maybe we can track down and figure out what perks the Nurse has and maybe figure out if they take NOED against us. Wanting to know if you're going against NOED is probably valuable, but there's also assuming that they're going to get all the gens done. So, I don't know. Tough to say. Either way, good job on the survivors for, handling a Nurse, but there's not a ton you can do against a cracked Nurse, let's face it. It's a struggle to get gens done. They got some gens done. They just weren't able to eke it out in the end. I don't know what the survivors could have necessarily done better. I'd have to go back and watch this game through a bit more.
We're currently starting the lobby. Now, I was thinking we were going to see Gothorgy, but we're not. Guess who we're going to be seeing?
Are they bringing back Vulpixia on Nurse? Are we going for round 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Vulpixia trademark is going to be killing next, yeah. And by the way...
Yo! Round 2, Electric Boogaloo.
You saw Vulpixia in the first trial get only 4 hooks. So with that in mind, pretty good squad could potentially be at an advantage, but Vulpixia may be like, I want a second shot. I want to prove it. I was a bit nervous. I'm not nervous now. I got this. I'm going to bring my A game. I was just a little bit nervous. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe. I don't know. We can't read their minds, but shake off a little bit of those nerves, Vulpixia. You got this. Got this in the bag. And we do see the Survivor Squad on Object of Depression getting ready to join as well. And we should be going any minute now. So continue your thoughts. If you have any. If you don't have any, that's also fine. No. No one
go
cares.
for it. What's up?
No what? What, Sam? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
The logos are wrong.
The logos aren't wrong. I've explained this already, and you know this. You're looking at the video logos. That's why it looks wrong. They switch sides. You're looking at the overlay of the actual current score, because otherwise you're going to be seeing the old score as it happens, and I don't want them to have to see that, so they can know what the current score is at all times. See, this is what you would be seeing without that overlay.
I may have been absent for that.
No, you weren't absent for that. I explained it to you in a call. Anyway. It's fine. Anyway, guys, we're getting ready.
Sam doesn't appreciate the production team's effort.
He hates us so much. Absolute hatred for
Actually,
all of
okay,
us.
so you know what would be really funny? Is if Vulpixia comes back, but they don't bring Nurse, they bring Hag. Just to mind game the survivors. They're like, oh, we're going against Vulpixia. Okay, so we're going against Nurse. Here's what we strat. And then you see Hag come in instead. And it's like, psych, I actually play Hag too, get wrecked.
That would be something. I would like to see that, actually. That wouldn't be such a bad thing.
The mind games. Just saying.
That would be a heavy mind game. I mean, you see Vulpixia and you're like, yeah, they're going to bring Nurse, right? Of course. Like, yeah, but maybe not. Don't get too comfortable.
Oh, man. Oh, this is going to be fun. It's the battle of the nurses. Oh man, yeah, I don't have much. I don't have much more to say. Like, this game has just been taxing on me. I've just been like exhausted by now. We've got another match tonight too coming up in 30 minutes.
I also want to point out that OOD going into round 4 was behind by 19 points.
Exactly. Zappies was cracked.
We talked about that.
But now it's 19 points again. This is crazy.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's exactly the same. We don't have to we can just let the clips run. We don't have to always talk over them. We can give it a break. We're gonna take a little vocal break for our brains while these guys get ready in the lobby. If that's okay with you guys in the chat, we've been just, chatter. While I love it, I think all of us could use like a 5-minute, like a little fiver. So we're just gonna take a little fiver while they get ready. Love you. I'm reading the chat though. I want to see if there's anything to respond to.
It's just a lot of support for Vulpixia. I'm curious what's going to happen the second match. Like I said, to be fair, Object of Depression is they're a tough team to go against. They're no pushover on the Survivor Squad. So definitely got your work cut out for you. But yeah, mood. I remember my first match. I was absolutely. Oh goodness, I was so nervous. It was ridiculous.
I'm just here enjoying my sprongles. Thank you guys for the support in the chat, by the way. We're just waiting on them to ready up currently. We have Vulpixia in here in the killer role, probably working on her build a little bit and then getting ready. And then we have the survivors kind of doing the same thing. They got all their items ready. I think they're just maybe double checking, doing some last minute communications. Then we should be going any second.
I called it. They just said that the Vulpixia actually does play Hag, so it might be a switcheroo. Just saying.
My Hag isn't ready for
sick.
comp. Can you read?
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I think they're just saying that to cover.
No, I don't think so. She doesn't come off like that kind of swindler. You don't think? Maybe? Yeah, could be. I mean, I would have said the same thing. Now I don't believe her. God damn it, Rue. now I'm wondering, is she actually bringing a Hag? That would be interesting.
I'm excited.
You sound
If it's
excited.
a battle of the nurses, so be it. But oh man,
what choice do you have?
First
I mean,
time
really,
tie.
what choice do you have?
What a night.
You
What
either
tricks?
bring nurse. No, what choice do you have?
Oh,
You either bring the A-est A tier killer against a team you know you tied against in the first 4 trials, or you risk it and go for something that's not A-est of the A tier killers. Like, I'm bringing the A tier. I'm bringing the nurse. Of course, it's not. I mean, it's not gonna be a Hag game for sure, right? Chat, should we like do a prediction model for this? Oh, by the way, I totally forgot this. The answer was no to that last one. I forgot to do the prediction models. We'll do
Wow.
one last one right now.
How dare you?
Shut up, Rue. All right. We're gonna say it in the 2, so that way it's for both of them. In the 2 rematch, I guess 2-game rematch. And what do we call it? Tiebreaker. In the tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker? Yep.
So this will be
man.
for both matches. So you can base it off of the first one if you want. That's risky though, because again, these teams are so close together. But spend your blood points, folks. Make your choice. Not to be confused with the perk. I meant with the prediction. I'm running out of gusto. I'm winded. I'm actually winded right now from waiting and all the shoutcasting we've been doing. It's Vexify. What have I missed? Oh boy.
What haven't you missed?
Literally everything. I don't know. These guys are taking a while to ready up. I don't know what's going on with that, but they are taking a while. Do you think there's a particular reason for that? Like, this is one of the longest lobbies I've ever seen.
If the mind games are happening. I wonder if it's actually happening where they're like, are they going to take Hag or are they going to take Nurse? Which one are they going to do? Do we bring the flashlight or do we not? What's the plan here?
We can't sit here all night, guys. We got to start going, all right? All right, Survivor Squad, it's time to start going. Time to start readying up.
Probably needs to set a timer on them.
We
Put
can't.
a timer
There's no
on
rule
them.
for it. Next season, we probably might implement something like that. I don't know what it's going to be, and I can't speak to it yet. But I mean, that's something we've talked about because honestly, some of these lobbies just going for way too long, and I understand they're competitive. They're trying to get it right, and I get that. But they need to just be on point with this stuff and not be debating too much because. Yeah, we have people waiting. I'm waiting. I want to see it. I want to get some lunch before the next game, and I'm not going to have time. So you guys, let's go. For me,
Through the
please.
rules, I have lobbies.
I keep eating sprungles, and that's not food.
I keep telling you, Poggy. I keep telling you.
Keep telling
Chat
me what?
even
Not to
echoed
eat
it.
sprungles?
Know that you have a snack right here.
No. We're not doing that, Rue. We're going to stay away from that. Hag
No
game is by
Poggard?
far not the choice. Look here, old mate, Tony, he agrees with me. Hag main is by far not the choice. The setup time instantly gives too much BP advantage. Plus, going for chases to start off means no trap advantage. Definitely a nurse run. I think I'm in agreement with you. I think so. As much as I love Hag, can't deny there's a stronger.
Strong. I don't disagree. I do not disagree. Sam, I think you got to go get the belt and make the survivors ready up.
Honestly, I where I understand where y'all are coming from. I kind of understand where they're coming from, and if they need time because this was not planned, I mean, no one expected overtime, so
I get you.
let them.
I get you.
Let them get ready. You know, this is tough.
I'm
but
not
it's close.
opposed. I'm not opposed. It's just, I think everybody's just really on edge and eager. So, including myself, I really want to see what happens. Like, I'm rooting for both of them. Like, I'm rooting for Vulpixia, right? Because Vulpixia is awesome. She's new. I want to see her do really, really well. And I hope that we see that. But also, I'm rooting for Object of Depression because, I mean, they're just such a good team and they've been such good performers up to this point that I want to see them do well too. So I'm struggling as to which side I'm taking right now. I can't make a choice. I want to see what chat thinks though. Where are we? We got 1 minute left on the prediction. Wow, they're going 81% currently in favor of PGS. 81%. That is a strong favorability rating for Vulpixia's killer. So we're all behind you.
Yeah.
We're all behind you, Vulpixia, including the chat predictions.
Interesting. Chat has made their choice.
The announcers in their comfy little boxes laughing at... First of all, my box is really not that comfortable. I know it looks comfortable, but that's just the illusion of filmmaking, my good man. But...
As for laughing, you shouldn't be able to hear
laugh.
my laughter.
For me, it's a nervous laugh. Because I'm nervous for both teams. I want to see them do well. Also, it's just part of my my weirdness. I just laugh at things that aren't even funny sometimes. But yeah, thank you for the comment. At least calling us out on that. Granted, I would be nervous as hell.
Like, I get nervous before games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you actually
like,
play
I'm not
in the
saying
league.
I don't. Yeah, because you're sitting in your comfortable little box and you're...
Yeah, my comfortable little box.
You know what I want to... Can you look, because you're going to be able to find it quicker than me.
Oh, what's up?
What is the average difference between score during OOD games?
The average difference between score. So if I'm understanding you, you want to know the average score difference on the last like 3 or 4 OOD games between the teams that they played against?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Give me a second. Let me try to find it really quick. I'll do it while
It was a close game against CDM and a close one against Deity.
Well, let's take a look. I want to see. Let's get official numbers here. Let's get actual finish numbers. So week 1.
I think they had a close one between WoW as well.
Week 1 was We Overslept versus Object versus We Overslept, and the score was, someday I will know, 77 to 54 Object. So not that close on that one. The next one was Object of Depression and 4 Dwights 1 Locker, which was... Hello? Okay, there we go. 53-57. So that was a close one. Object winning that one as well. But also 53-57 is pretty close. Next one was CDM versus Object, which is, I mean, CDM is one of the best teams in this league right now with a complete, just ongoing win streak from these guys. And even that, 85-71, not that far off. 14 points. And then week 4, it's the most recent week with Object of Depression going against We Can't Loop. And that was 83-45. So that one was more of a blowout than anything else. As for the rest, pretty close. Pretty close. Not terribly far off.
I also know when
And-
my old team faced them last season, it came down to the hatch kick. It was going to be a tie, and then Cormac kicked the hatch, and that's what gave him the 1 point difference.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're loading in, guys. Everybody readied up. We're going in. I don't have hook counters. I don't know what's going on with that, but we got in-game ones, so I guess that's okay. And, oh, she did bring a hack. Oh, no.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Mind
spicy.
games inbound.
Spicy. No way. She did not. She did not. My hag isn't comp ready. No, you liar. You liar. Although, to be fair, I mean, that's how you want to do it. You want to mind game these guys, and she mind gamed before they even got in the game. I don't think they were ready. I think they were expecting Nurse. So was I. She saw a survivor over here. Ooh, a sprint burst. Sprinto Bursto from Brizzo 3005 getting away from the killer. Very nice opening to the game. This is a mutant hag too, by the way. One of my favorite hag skins that I do not own, but I desperately wanted it. And she is now again chasing Brizzo around here. She's going to be careful though, and I think she's not really wanting to chase too much. Brizzo's trying to abuse the hag's setup time a little bit. She might be one of the players who they've dedicated to messing with the setup. Because Brizzo is a very strong looper for sure, and can mess with the hag quite a bit. And she seems to be kind of just staying out in the open doing that while the survivors continue to work on generators. And she is going to start laying down traps. She gets a... Ooh, see, that's what I'm talking about. She is messing with it. She's messing with those traps, tripping them on the edge. You walk inside the trap gently by crawling into it, turn around and leave by running out the edge, and you can't get the ITH, but she does wait patiently. She doesn't go for the swing and is able to secure the hit. However, the hit doesn't mean anything. You want to get the downs. So we're hoping that she can get her down. Ooh, that was not it. She tried to do an ITH, but it was just a little bit off because she didn't actually get the teleport. And I think maybe it was just a distance thing. That's something that can happen very well. She does have Dried Cicada. I think what happened is she heard the explosion, and I don't think the explosion was actually a trap trip. I think that's what it was. And so she like pushed the button and then swung, but there wasn't actually a trap that tripped. That's what I think just happened.
I could see that. I've had that happen.
I've done that before. Yeah. It might have been like a missed skill check or something. Now, we do see Brizzo again by the coal tower. I don't know if her intent is to continue messing with the hag or if she's actually trying to get to safety or find a generator to work on. But the hag spots Don't Come Near Me, who's working her way inside the coal tower. Going up the stairs, and the hag follows very close behind. And Nia is going to use balance landing to get some extra distance, landing a little bit on the edges of the tractor. And oh, that balance landing gets her just enough distance to get away from the ITH. 3 generators done already from these survivors. A strong opening.
3 gens are done?
3 gens are done. I know, they went by fast. Dude, they just like gen after gen after gen right now. This is rough. Well, Pixia is struggling a little bit, but it doesn't mean that it's game over. Hag can sometimes do her snowball late in the game. If she plays this right, if she's able to get these hooks, or at least get a hook, it can start a snowball like we've never seen before. And that's what we want to see with Hag, is that snowball. Now, we would hope to have seen that a little bit earlier, but she does find Brizzo again, who is the only injured player right now. And that, if Brizzo makes a mistake, could get Brizzo down and might enable her to actually make some pressure. And instead, she ends up taking a teleport to Nia, sees Brizzo in the back, does go for the swing on Nia, lands the hit at the TNL loop. Very well played, and another generator out of the game. That is 4 generators down. She is struggling to make headway. Now, we do see Brizzo right there at the pallet. She drops the pallet, knowing that the hag saw her as she placed the trap right outside of it. And instead of looping there, she decides to leave, not taking any risks. Gets a teleport ITH hit on Ice Soaked in Bleach. Very nice. Going to kick the pallet, get it out of the way. And then I think she's desperate to get somebody down, but seems to not be in any committal state. She's probably feeling a bit of pressure right now. And I would be a little bit nervous myself at this point with 4 generators gone, feeling a ton of pressure. Does she even have a strong 3-gen? I don't even think so. Almost got the Nia down, but not quite. Ooh, that was really close. And she teleports again and does finally get Brizzo down. I'm sorry I missed it. I was trying to switch cameras. A great teleport on that back gen. We saw her put that trap down there, and it worked out. She is able to get the down. She needs to pressure. She needs to pressure. Now, the survivors are working on that last gen, I suspect. Let's see where they're at. Oh my god, that gen is like 70, 80% right now. It is so close. I don't think the hag could, even if she wanted to, pressure that gen again. I think it's done. Brizzo's trying to get herself off the hook. I think she's preparing for the eventuality that, yeah, there goes that last generator. Oh no.
Oh no.
The last generator pops. OOD coming out with a strong 5-gen completion at the end of the tiebreaker. And I think that's going to be GG. I don't think there's anything this killer can do unless she snowballs right now, which at this point in this stage in the game, these survivors are making their way out the door, and this Nia is fully healthy. I don't see a world where there's anything that happens here except for this 1K on the hook from Brizzo, and that's exactly what I think we're about to see right here, as Nia is still chasing away from the killer. Might even take one hit, but I don't know if that's even worth risking. She hasn't hit anybody yet, and there could be a no-hit in play. You never know. You don't want to take those risks of allowing a free hit. And unfortunately, Brizzo is still hanging out on the hook and does actually let go. And I think we might actually be seeing a hatch play. Yeah, don't kill me. We're going to maximize those points with a hatch escape. So that is, ooh, but the hag finds her waiting by the hatch and forces her away. And I think, yeah, Brizzo gets the kick. I'm not sorry, Volpixia gets the kick. And we're going to see now Don't Come Near Me making her escape. That is GG, ladies and gentlemen, and I think that's an easy one to call, with Object of Depression taking the final win. We'll get the final score tallied, but that is it, folks. That is it. Object of Depression, Survivors, phenomenal plays against this hag. Really saw them struggle. Volpixia, our heart goes out to you. As a fellow hag main, much love. I'm sorry it didn't work out, but congratulations to Object of Depression for your win tonight. What is that final score? Let's see it. I think that is the total right there. Yep. So we see 12-46. Let's go ahead and, well, we don't need to do a post-game review because I don't even have it set up properly, so we're not going to do that. Let's not do that again. Oh boy!
All right, everybody, Ruger with your post-game review here. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's fine. If you want to do a little post-game talk about the game, go right ahead. That's totally fine. I meant the other post-game review.
Oh no, we are already cutting into the next game's time just a little bit potentially.
We might delay it by a little bit, guys.
We're gonna have to delay it just a little bit, but
not too much.
Oh man, that was
maybe 10 minutes.
Object Depression's a good survivor squad. They are a tough survivor squad. I've practiced several times against them, and they stress me to my max when playing against them. Even with Hag, I think they're just very adept at playing it against Hagged. So, tough game. But well played for Object. This was a really, really tough game. Even if the tiebreaker wasn't that close necessarily, they still tied a match. That was really, really good. Really, really good stuff to see. And I don't know who's playing next. Who's playing next tonight? I actually don't know.
Next is, I can't remember off the top. I know Hellraisers. I think it's Hellraisers and Port Mafia.
Yeah, Hellraisers Port Mafia. Right. All right, so they're going to be playing in just a bit here. I
don't think we have to cut the stream because it's really close on time.
Not going
I think we can go to an intermission. We'll go to an intermission, guys, so we can get everything set up. It'll take me a few minutes to get it set up. And then we'll start going into the next two teams, which is Hellraisers and Port Mafia. And whatever you guys can do, go take a bathroom break, go get something to snack on, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Rue, give us a little... Oh, Jesus. Give us a little outro.
Done? A little outro
while we wait. Yeah.
Right.
Give us a little something.
All right. Well, I'll get as far away as possible, so I'm as tiny as possible.
Not
all right, everybody.
Okay.
You've been watching Vigo's court. We just saw Object of Depression versus PGS. Object of Depression coming out in the tiebreaker as the winner. We're going to hang out here for just a little bit, and we will be back in moments with another game for you guys. Port Mafia versus Hellraisers. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back in just a moment. Staying tight.
You know how much I hate it when you ruin my audio. You know how much I hate it. Why would you do this? Of the jury, we are here with Week 5 matchups with Object of Depression versus Pretty Good Squad, and I'm looking forward to seeing what these teams have in store for us tonight. We saw some pretty interesting games in the first two trials, for sure. We saw a fantastic nurse game, which could have gone a little better, but ultimately they kept the score pretty close, so not too bad at all. And then the first game with, who was it on Killer? I can't remember who it was, but they did really well. I know what team it was, but I mean, what was the name of the killer again?
From last
I can't
game?
remember. Yeah. The first game, trial number 1.
Pixia. Oh, from the first game was Shiny.
Shiny, that's
was
right,
killer.
Shiny. Yeah. So I think we just saw a hag. Did I just see a hag? I
think
did.
you saw a hag.
Wow, that's... You know, there's something to be said about this choice, actually. And I'm going to put it this way. Remember when I told you guys that I'm a hag main and the first game I played was one game and that was it? It was against Object of Depression and I got a 4K. So maybe they've gotten better with hag. Maybe they've gotten better with hag. But at the same time, maybe he's hoping they haven't. And we'll see if Gothergy is able to capitalize. But once again, we see the Survivors doing exactly what they did last time against Corrupt, which is hiding away from Corrupt. However, with the hag, it's a little different because the hag isn't going for early downs. She's going for early setup, which is basically where I think that Corrupt Intervention is a little more useful, even though I still don't like Corrupt Intervention, generally speaking. I see where it has utility for someone like Hag or Trapper a little more than other killers. So anyway, go ahead, Rue. You wanted to say something.
I wouldn't say that Hag doesn't want early downs. I think all killers want early downs, but
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're not going to pursue it. Yeah.
The goal immediately is to just get your setup as well. And if you do get an early down, great. But that's not necessarily what you're expecting, especially in comp. You're expecting that. Whoa! But we do see him finding one of the survivors around these boxes at the top of the coal tower. Almost is able to get the hit on the drop, but doesn't. However, we also see Welsh Girl taking a hit. I think that's the Rusty Shackles that's preventing from knowing where the trap was. So they get close to the gen and then take the hit. However, so far, not an actual down. Just hits. Nothing substantial from this yet. But, out of place. Nancy Guts, a Dead Hard, though, into the pallet. Almost got downed, but that Dead Hard saved her. That Dead Hard actually scared me because of the angle that it came at. However, I Soaked in Bleach going to now take a hit as well, and I Soaked in Bleach also injured. So that's 3 injuries out of the 4 survivors on the map right now. And I think Hag might be retargeting. However, generators are also getting done, so we'll see what happens here. Ooh, going for the ITH, but she gets a little distance, does a nice edge, and gets away, and another Dead Hard away. This is fantastic. Absolutely phenomenal play. Object of Depression definitely doing better, but does get Fang down inside the pallet. She's not able to drop the pallet, and that is going to be a first down. We see also a sprint burst from Brizzo, and that generator is pretty close to finish. I think Gothergy wanted to pressure it a little bit, but Brizzo might be able to get back to it, possibly finish it. This hook is pretty close, though, so I don't know. That'd be risky. Yeah, he does take that teleport. They're not able to get the gen done. 5 gens still remaining with 1 hook, and we see a Pop Goes the Weasel in play as well. Brizzo kind of stepping back. Nancy getting up to 70% on her generator.
I haven't seen Pop on Hag very often. Usually they ignore gen perks like that. They just want to go for their web. That's interesting.
It depends on the play style, but you're not wrong. Like, my play style with Hag is just chase hit, chase hit, chase hit, chase hit. I don't do regression, right? But at the same time, regression can be really good if that's what you're going for, and at least you do it. And you want to get that. You want to get those perk values. Like, you're gonna want to go and use your Pop Goes the Weasel if you have it. Like, sometimes it can be easy to forget or neglect if you see a survivor or want to take a teleport, and that's kind of why I don't use it, because I can often neglect to use my Pop sometimes and end up taking too long or miss it. But she did use it, and she's using it effectively, and coming back to check the hook as well. And I believe Nancy was going in for the unhook and gets spotted and may actually go down. He tries to get a swing here, but Nancy was hiding in the right spot. And now she gets to stage 2 and does get off the hook. So Fang got to stage 2. And then, wow, Nancy going down inside the shack pallet as well. Holy cow.
That's a lot of pressure.
That is a lot of pressure. And she's moonwalking on the ground. I saw that the other day on a Survivor. I was like, what the heck is this movement? This is really funny. I didn't know you could do that. The ground moonwalk. And the hag takes the teleport, gets another down on the real Zappies. Wow. Fantastic play with another down, a double down. And I think Welsh Girl's going to get back up. Yeah, right now is when they get Welsh Girl back up. This killer has a ton of pressure right now. She just needs to maintain this pressure. Now, unfortunately, with the progression to stage 2, there is a little bit of a loss of hook points. So you're gonna want to capitalize on those hook points some more by making sure they can at least possibly get unhooks occasionally. You don't want to just give them stuff for free, though, because if you give a survivor a mile or a rope, they will give you a mile or something. I don't know what the turn of phrase is. You guys know what I'm trying to say. I'm bad with old school phrases. They did a full 3-man reset. Ooh. With the real Zappies hanging out on hook. Brizzo taking a hit inside the killer shack now, and I think Fang might be staying away from where everybody is on purpose because she's dead on hook. She doesn't want to get caught out. And I believe Welsh Girl,
they're gonna have to protect her.
Working her way inside. Now, I don't like this placement of the trap. This is just me. For me, I always have trouble with those inside the shack generator trap placements. I get caught on things. I try to get an ATH. It doesn't really work. And what I do is I like to put it on the outside of the shack. But, you know, you do what you do, Guth. It seems to be working for you, so keep up the good work. Franklin's demise, though, as well, we saw, and so they have no items anymore. She keeps trapping their items, too, which is smart. That's a smart way to do it. And Gothragy gets the down now on Brizzo as well, and that's going to be a third down. Sorry, third hook for Gothragy. And just checking in on the survivors, we see a generator at 20%, and I believe, who are you again? You are the real Zappies, right? And you're going in for the unhook. Ooh, that is a little risky, but you're injured, but as long as you're careful not to trip that trap. Yeah, she sees it. She's like, nah, I ain't tripping that. Got to be careful getting off that hook. And then you want to trip it once you start to run and leave, possibly. You don't necessarily need to, but it's sometimes a good strategy to do that to bait the teleport once you've gotten to the edge of the trap. And we do see that sometimes. I've seen it a lot in the higher level plays with Hag. And it can be really annoying, but she does teleport and find Welsh Girl, who does end up taking a hit. I believe Gothragy's doing a good job of hiding his traps from these survivors, not being too predictable about where he places them, other than the one on the hook, which just wastes their time. And another ITH on Eye Soaked in Bleach. Fantastic plays right now from Gothragy. And another one, getting another one on Brizzo. And yet again, Eye Soaked in Bleach going down as well. Just hit after hit after hit. This is going to be like a 32K game. Even if it's not a 4K, this guy's getting a ton of points. You guarantee those blood points are going to be huge. And yeah, killers and survivors get blood point bonus points. And yeah, that's also an early death hook as well for Fang. Wow, that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate for Object of Depression. Gothragy's coming in with a strong Hag showing, and they are struggling. These traps are a little close together, Gothragy. I don't know about that one. I'm not sure about that. It's a little close.
I think they just want to make sure that they have both sides covered.
I'm such a Hag main. I can't stop. Exclamation mark Hag facts in the chat if you didn't know that. I see Lesbian Love doing it in the chat already, but yeah, this...
So before the first gen even pops. Trying to bait out a hit there, but not able to get it. Ricky's AT able to get away. That was a missed decisive strike. And that is an insta-down.
Welcome back, everybody. Did you miss us? It's your Vigo's Court. I'm your Judge Little Rugar, and with me today is again Counselor Poggy. And man, that was a short intermission. What a game we just witnessed. But we've got another exciting game for you guys. Hold on to your seats. Poggy, what do we have on the docket, my good sir?
I'm just enjoying my coffee. Thanks for asking.
All right, everybody. Today, week 5 matchup, we have Hellraisers going head-to-head against Port Mafia, and they're going to be playing on the Thompson House with 152 square tiles, 9,728 meters squared, 7 hooks minimum, 12 hooks max, with 1 permagen at the top of the house. So, I'm just going to say it. I think that I understand that some people say that Gen is like, easy for survivors to get. I actually think that Gen's super safe. Sure, there are a lot of drop points to get out of the second story, but getting up there is very open. There's a lot of entrances to that one stairway. I think it's actually not a very safe Gen. But, at me. Tell me I'm wrong. Give me an argument. I love to hear your guys' thoughts.
I'll give you my
we
thoughts.
have stats for these teams. Oh, go for it.
Well, we do. But really quick, on the Thompson House, first of all, love the Thompson House. It's super strong for Survivor. Hate it on Killer. But the one thing I do about this map in general, it's not Cold Tower. We've seen a lot of Cold Tower because there was like some map reset issues or some maps were disabled. Behavior re-enabled them, but we didn't want to change it back last minute because we set it to Cold Tower as sort of the default for the week. And we'll be back again next week with the actual maps of each team that are supposed to be on. We won't see as much Cold Tower, thank God. As much as I like that map as an equivalent sided map, it does get a little bit boring seeing the same map every single time. So I'm glad. I'm glad we're getting to see some new map tonight. Here's your stats, Drew, since you asked. Since you asked and all that.
Thank you very much. Oh, man, this is very much different from what we saw before because PGS's and OOD's was very similar. That hook differential is very different. That's like a 3-point difference. However, looking at the escape percentage, the gen percentage, they're fairly similar. Even the blood point percentage. Wow, actually, everything besides the hook differential is very similar here.
It's worth pointing out,
so just the
Hellraisers started a little bit rough in the season. You were here for it, you probably know. But then they started getting much more into it, like really pushing on the competitive, taking coaching and everything. They're pushing their game up. They're trying to. And I'm excited to see what they do tonight, actually. I really am. I got to play against them in some scrims the other day. And let me say, they're not that bad. I mean, I struggled a little bit.
Wait, you got to play against them?
Issues. I did. I got to scrim. It was fun. And it was not too bad. I think the problem is that they weren't able to anticipate my 300 millisecond ping because I'm in the Philippines. But I think that actually helped them. It's almost like training with weights on. You take the weights off, and now they get to go against a killer that has normal ping.
Mood. I get you.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Why do you keep disappearing?